A little adjusty there. Back of U-Haul Adventures. Bacon, whoa, friend. First to the door once more. How you doing? Ultrazini, what, oh, friend? Hello, hello. Coming in, coming in. How you both doing? And Alnus as well. That's 3 for 3. Well, I guess I don't know what the measurement is of. I guess, oh, J-Post, what, ho? You're right, mornings are pain. I'm still not entirely sure who invented mornings and who I need to seek great revenge on, but we'll come to that another day. First, we have to kill the sun, because if there's no sun, there can be no morning, there can be no rising of the sun. So that should solve that problem. Then we get everyone on international time. What do you mean the planet would freeze? You don't freeze when it's nighttime? Duh. Like you people don't even know science. Sorry, big an ass. How are you doing? Oh, I hate those. Sorry, J-Post was saying they had one of those, like, wake up at stupid o'clock and not get back to sleep. Ugh. I usually have one of those... usually 5 AM is like my do or die moment. So, like, waking up at 4:30, I'd probably try... But, like, once 5 AM hits, that's the point where I just have to, like... I just have to make a little agreement with myself. Today's gonna hurt. And that's okay. Sorry, I mean... Like, I'm the person who should be talking about sleep schedules and sleep patterns and whatnot. Sorry. There are a great many things that I am qualified to talk about, and getting a good night's rest is absolutely not the fuck one of them. Anyway, how are you all doing? We get these little quiet moments before the crew all comes in. You can try to rearrange some pencils, sip a little bit more coffee. There's no great big game news going on at the moment. There's some kerfuffle of yesterday a very bad take got promoted and all the games industry started clutching their... I feel the term clutching your purse is offensive to somebody, you know what I mean? So I need another variant. And clutching the pearls kind of implies they have cash. Oh shit, Wolfgrad, you did it! Alright, alright. You're gonna have to DM me how you did it because it's driving me loopy bananas. And I worked out the crane thing and the reversey Percy mirror, but the tunes I could not work out. Huh. Wolfgrad's saying that half the hints they got were actually provided by me. See, I will say, having that ending behind an achievement was definitely a misstep. And the reason why is they couldn't have it as a sleeper hit. They kind of very, very openly say, no, there's a secret left. But then again, I don't know. No, you know what? I retract my previous statement. You know what? Until I've experienced the proper ending of that game, I can't talk. I got into a discussion on Twitter yesterday because I was asking, like, game dev friends, like, how do you deal watching users just not get your game? And I don't mean be bad at it. I mean, like, you're watching somebody and they're completely missing what it is that you're trying to say. Yeah, Ultrazini, you're right. Would people have looked at it without the achievement to point them there? You, as a creative, would hope so, but then in reality, like, unless you sell a shit ton and people really get stuck into it, like, unless you do that, like, it's entirely possible for people to miss it unless it suddenly leaps forward. So yeah, Wolfgrad Ultrazini, yeah, I retract my prior statement. I don't think the achievement was a misstep. Sorry, I guess I'm still getting caffeinated. But yeah, no, so naming no names, I watched someone playing Inscription last night, and they did not get it. And it was hard to watch. And I didn't even work on Inscription. Now, I have an emotional investment in that game, so it's not that I take a pride, but there is a certain anchoring to it. Watching someone experience the good bits of that game is something that makes me happy, because it's a game that matters to me, and getting to share that experience, even with a social disconnect, even having had no influence on that person's choice to play that game. And Fred, Watto, how are you doing, mate? Tanari, wow, hello. Watto, friend. How goes it in old Blighty? Alice was saying not get how. Well, they desperately wanted it to be basically a Magic the Gathering roguelike. And they went off on quite a few tangents about how cards could have hidden effects, or how things weren't always what they appeared. And I'm like, wait, what? They read into the mechanics of the game so literally as to they missed the cabin for the cards, if you will. Yeah, Fred, welcome to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It feels like at least over here, it feels like it's painfully early in the morning. But that could just be my terrible sleeping habits. But yeah, so watching this person miss the point of Inscription and go on these long-winded rants about how the game design is bad, how it's bad that these cards can do things that you don't know they're going to do, and just being like, oh shit, you haven't gotten it. And I don't know, I needed to hear what my dev friends felt about that, because like I've never worked on a game that had a hidden meaning. I've always loved the idea of working on games, and you can draw artistic meaning from any art if you choose to, but like, Total War isn't an artistic endeavour trying to convey an emotion or a feeling. It's trying to convey an experience. The experience of leading your empire forward, fighting against all odds, changing history, flipping some historians the bird. And Captain Stephanie Barnes, head of House of Valkyrie, what ho, friend! Thank you for the host. Down under Dwarf, what ho? See, Fred, that's a good point. Like, sorry, for those of you who don't know, Fred worked on a CCG back in the day called Legend of the Five Rings, which had a living story element, which was fascinating. That's how I got introduced to Fred, and we ended up nattering about that for feckin' ages. Kimball, Steppergen, what ho? Hello. Stammering Gamer, what ho, friends? Come on in, friends, come on in. The Graves, lovely to see you. Vander Beast, what ho, friends? House Order and Valkyrie in here. Hello. And to Final Phoenix, what ho? We're getting to see you loads now. Hey. I'm sorry, I'm always just happy to see you all. Before I go into this, weird little thought tangent I'd love to chat with you all. It is lovely to see you all when you come hang out. I hope you know that that's not just a, aha, numbers go up, yes please. But this is me actually getting to have a little chat with you all. Even if it's a bit sporadic bartendery. So I'm always grinning like Galoon. Oh yeah, Kimball, I made millions from my marketing ideas yesterday. And I decided to invest it into metaverse plots of land, so that those millions will obviously turn into even more. I can't even say it with a straight face. No, my marketing campaign did not make us millions yet. Quad, what ho, hello. And Vanderbeest, thank you for the pint glass. Okay, so those of you just joined us, I had an experience yesterday, and I posted about it on Twitter, and I was asking my dev friends how they deal with people not getting their game. And again, I'm not talking about being bad. It's entirely fine to be bad at games, but trying to deconstruct the design of it, trying to speak with authority about the title when you're missing the point. And this came from watching someone playing Inscription last night, and they absolutely did not get it. Because it was clear what they wanted this game to be was a roguelike Magic the Gathering game. And then Inscription does all kinds of weird stuff. And there were so many points that they missed, and there was quite a few times where they stopped and tried to deconstruct what they thought the game was. Now, as we all know, if you've only played like the first hour or so of Inscription, you have seen very little of the full game. And it goes in some really cool and weird and interesting places. If you're still on the fence about Inscription and haven't had it spoiled, absolutely go and play it. And if you have played it and haven't played the Hex, play the Hex. And Halo Grunt, Watto! I didn't see your Happy Will as Best Will. Happy Breakdown is close second, followed by Absolutely Terrified. I'm a real person. Oh, Kindball has many leads like that, yeah. They're very hard to deal with when you work with them. But that's another kettle of monkeys. So I was asking dev friends how they deal with this. And some of them just said drink. A few of them made some interesting points, which was that it hurts. But a lot of the times, as one friend put it, the first time I watched someone not get my game, it hurt. And the second time, it still hurt, but I brought a pen. And I was like, okay. So they tried to, their friends were basically saying they tried to deconstruct why people miss the point of their game. And, especially in the indie space, especially when you're trying to say something artistic with your work, it can be difficult. Yeah, see, Alnus, you get it. Alnus was saying, okay, you all got Inscription. I don't think it's beyond any of you, but Alnus is just making a real good point. That read the card is almost a mantra in the CCG community. But the idea that you're missing information even when it's all out there feels unfair, which for Inscription is the point. The person across the table from you cheats. So how do you break their shit? To win your first run, you don't create something that works well within the rule systems. You take the rules and you break them over your knee, and then use the broken two halves of the rules to beat the other person to death with. This isn't Warhammer 40,000. This is improvisational theatre through the medium of cards. Let's fucking go! That is Inscription. But it was just watching someone get bogged down by the minutiae. I'm quite proud of that actual line. They missed the cabin for the cards. That was something that fascinated me. Snuggly, Watto friend, hello. Oh, hey, Sir John Bacon, if we can be a charming, cheerful background banter, hopefully it helps, friend. So, cheers to you. Thank you, Halo. I do try. But then again, as I was saying, I love Inscription. I think it's one of the great games. And I have an emotional anchor to that. So I might take umbrage more so than would be sensible when people don't understand a title. And that's why I had to ask their friends how they feel when it's their creation. Because I didn't make Inscription. I don't know Dan Mullins. I was involved in none of it. But having played the previous games and followed them through, yeah, Camp Steph, it's just a card game about squirrels. Get it? You get it? Sorry. I wasn't involved in the creation of the game, but I have an emotional anchor to it. I can't imagine what it must be like if you actually made the game yourself. Zagrave says, speaking of 40k, they're excited for Orkborg, the Morkborg compatible Space Orc game. Yes. It's like some individuals feel that we have not been on the internet at all. I'm just, you know what? Just gonna do a murder. I'm not offended by it. I'm perturbed. So people they come in here, they do not read my biography. 10 years in the video games industry, and you think you can play me with this weak shit? You get nothing, sir. Good day. Is that right? It is. Dead. What was I going to say? Oh no, so Vanderbeast, it's not the tightness of the 40k rule set, it's that 40k at a competitive level comes very much down to like this rule versus that rule, and almost kind of like a lawyer's battle argument for some of the more ridiculous stuff. Oh, and jumping back in, Suddenstop says they're looking forward to the roguelike bets mod update when it's stable. It's so fun. It's so fun. And it's perfect after you've played through Inscription, because at that point, you know the weirdness of it. It's kind of... It feels like a wonderful continuation of, because it rewards glorious nonsense. And as I said, I did manage to get a Ouroboros to 42-42 during one of the test builds. What I managed to do was I got a skink, and I gave it the ability, I can't remember if it's undying, but when it dies, it comes back to your hand. But here's where it gets fun. Because it has the ability to split its tail, both parts come back to your hand. The tail can just be played infinitely, allowing you to create this, like, essentially infinite spawn 2 combo. It's so good. But no, Zagraves, that sounds highly entertaining. Gentleman I used to know from Warhammer videos from Total War videos, does Warhammer breakdowns, and he did a whole thing on good old Gorka Morka. Definitely one of my favourites. Jackie, only on occasion. Only on occasion. Halo Grunt says they saw someone on Inscription made a macro to allow them to keep playing an infinite bone creation set and let that run for 16 hours. Glorious. And Ehrman, what ho friend? Hello, hello. And Favor 6, I don't actually know the continued status of how Games Workshop are treating YouTubers, but they've done a lot of bad nonsense. It's always so difficult when dealing with a company like Games Workshop, because they've been around for a long time. They have done both good and bad. They're a huge main staple of culture, so you can't just boycott them out and out, at least in terms of discussion. But it's that annoying thing when they do something really good here and then something really bad here, and you have to discuss them all. Because, I try and think about these things professionally to an extent, So, sorry, for those of you who don't know, Games Workshop launched their own video streaming service, and it's pretty weak sauce, if being honest. I've seen some clips of things come out of it, and production quality is very limited. Seems to be well written at very least. But before they launched their service, they went on an aggressive spree against fan-made YouTube content around the Warhammer 40,000 universe, and it pissed off a lot of people, rightly so. It's actually been an interesting discussion because I haven't had the chance to depack it, which is like unpack but like better. But apparently one YouTubian individual got into a spat with, was it Toei? I think it was Toei. And supposedly that's come out in favour of fair use, because apparently it was for reviews and fan content. But the other thing that we got talking about today was how Team 4-Star had a big hand in the revival of Dragon Ball in at least North America and in English language territories. And a larger portion of the Warhammer YouTube content has been a lot of people's like accessible entry point into the series. Especially things like Emperor had a text-to-speech device, which is very silly, but does a great job of highlighting the brutal guts of the universe where nobody is a good person. It does that from a comedic standpoint. Unfortunately, that's been kiboshed and stuff like that. So, I mean, it doesn't take a genius to work out. You know, Games Workshop kiboshing all these YouTube channels was definitely we want to get rid of the competition, so when we launch our thing, we can do it. There's so many people that have created incredible content around 40k and stuff like that, definitely makes it difficult for them to justify their price point when there are fans creating things in that space. It's idiocy that they didn't reach out and work with them. But old white guys doing business, I guess. But the reason why I talk about the good of Games Workshop is because of their licensing stuff in video games. And it's still one of the best setups. But that's another story. Sorry. Snuggly, you're entirely right. Do not attack your own fans. You'd think that's something that you wouldn't need to say to people. But... oh, and Stammering, which DLCs do you have for Total War Warhammer 2? Because if you have the Vampire Coast, you're in for a good time. Well, so Chorus, I haven't actually been able to unpack the details on it. All I saw was the tertiary discussions happening because of the YouTubian discussion of things like Team 4-Star and their works. And it is often... I thought it was something that was well understood by this point. The fact that some of these like second and third wave YouTube content creators who made really in-depth stuff inside fandoms ended up bringing people in and kind of solidifying, like, at least for me personally, when it comes to Dragon Ball, the Team 4-Star voices are canonical. That's my head. People have shared clips with me occasionally that have had the English dubbed voices, and I feel so bad because I'm like, that's not Vegeta. That's someone pretending. That's a fan pretending. I know what he sounds like. Oh yes, and Stammering Gamer, you are right. It is the Chinese New Year's sale on Steam. So if for some strange reason you find yourself lacking in Steam games, well, you can absolutely change that. I mean, I'm just going to say it. Let's, if the Hex is on sale, just get it for yourself. The Hex is $3.20. $3.20. Oh, Fred, no, you're entirely right. It's the Lunar New Year. My apologies. I'm still getting myself caffeinated. My apologies, friends. God, I'm all over the place today. You know, Fred, the worst part is, the reason why I assumed it was a China-centric celebration is because it's on Steam, and Steam have a huge footprint in China. So, I mean, these are the cultural blind spots. So I do apologise for misspeaking there. Yes, Fred, you're entirely correct. Steam did get it right. It is the Lunar New Year sale. which runs from today till the 3rd. So if you need some more video games, I mean, Vanderbeest, not joking. I think we have some Longshipians in South Korea and Taiwan. I don't think we have anyone out of mainland China, but I haven't asked. And I assume if someone's skirting the iron firewall, they don't want to be like, hello! Fred's like, Wildermyth is worth looking at. It is! But your writer's bias is showing. I kid. Wildermyth has been getting some great coverage, and by the looks of it, entirely deserved, friends. But no, but it's the Hex. It's the Hex for less than a coffee. Oh, I just need to tweet that out. Oh yeah, no, I'm tweeting. This is some live Twitter tapping. Oh, okay, sorry. Sudden stop. I guess all the Hades talk from yesterday, plus the fact that I drink too much, all kind of blended into each other. Sudden stop was saying they need to go back to Hex because they had a plot hangover from the first go around. Yes. Snuggly, once your bias is showing, though Snuggly would like to remind us all that the Thief games are currently all available for less than €1. Or gyros, they're called out here, sorry. That joke's not going to stop making me laugh. Sorry, LeJack's what ho friend. Hello, hello. Oh, and Bacon just picked up Hades and Ragnarok. Oh, lovely. I'm in two minds. I don't know if... is it Assassin's Creed Ragnarok? Like, I don't know if that's going to be one that I just enjoy as a turn my brain off non-stream game, or if it's going to do me an absolute feckin' damage. Sorry, where were we? Oh, LeJack just adding that all these sales are going to be the end of them. Well, I was like, LeJax, give us a video game budget, because I know I was trying to talk your ear off about Elsinore and obviously Outer Wilds because it's just gorgeous. Oh, Navalis, you're right. It's Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I mean, Assassin's Creed What Done Viking Edition. And Wolfcrab, I think that's a legit fear. Sorry, Wolfcrab was adding that they don't want to replay the Thief games because they're worried they won't be as good as they remember, and they don't want to. They don't want to override that memory because they hold it in such high regard. Alna's just picked up Wolfstride. Yes. I don't think Wolfstride 1 will be coming back to stream-wise, but it's very, very good. Also, once you get to the point where you can start like working and doing more fights, when the game starts opening up more, it's feckin' brilliant. Oh, and Orchazini, that's a very good point. If you would like a free video game, if the Lunar sales are themselves too expensive, Boy, have we got a banger for you. Do you want to be a giant robot that's also a jet fighter? Oh, well, and Epic is also having a lunar sale. Friendos, this is a Daemon Ex Machina, or however you want to pronounce it. It is the best armored core I can do you right now, and it's fun. Plot-wise, it can be best described as anime bullshit on speed. But gameplay-wise, it feels like you have a robot that is a jet fighter. Let's go, baby. And especially the size and scale of some of the enemies is just fucking cool. Right, it's one that I thoroughly enjoyed. But yeah, again, fucking Wolfstride is one I've been playing in my downtime. God. I've still been like puttering away on 7 Days to Die, but I don't really get much time to play outside of like hanging out with you lot, so. Wait, Humble is in sale as well! God, I'm feckin' bad at this! Friends, at least you know I'm not just trying to rinse money out of you, because I forget that the thing that has a partner thing. Yeah. Lunar New Year sale over on Humble. And it's not bad. It's not bad. Although it does worry me that there's one title which is on sale pre-order, and I'm like, that's weird. Also, friends, I posted about it in the Discord, because apparently this is how I remember things now. If you pick up the base version of Hitman 3 now, it'll get upgraded to the big fancy version, because it seems that the Steam release has been an absolute disaster for them. Okay. Sorry, Wolfgrad was just also saying that compared to the Thief stuff, they had a similar experience when playing System Shock 1, which is a game that is very clunky to play now, but it's fucking good. Okie dokie Lokies. In terms of video game news, again, there really hasn't been anything going on today, which is nice. There's been a lot of discourse around things that really don't matter. Once again, highlighting the games industry's ability to take bad takes and propel them into the stratosphere. Stadium was in Magic the Gathering news. Do you mean how the, what is it, Neon Kamigawa looks awesome? And Jackie, I mean, assuming you have the fiscal sensibilities for, I was given one of those fancy, like, impact lightsabers, God, a few years ago for my birthday, and it was awesome. Okay, yeah, so today is the preview for the start of Neon Dynasty, which is the return to Kamigawa-ish. And Wolfgrad, the Oculus rebrand was discussed, God, when they started talking about the whole change. It is what it is, you know? Though, if you are, and if you do have yourself a VR headset, play Rec Room. It's a better game, it has more stuff you can do, and you can interact with people that aren't in VR. It's fucking good. Okay, and on Magic the Gathering, so Neon Dynasty is a return to Kamigawa, just, you know, 1,200 years in the future. Tomio's back! How about the old... Let me guess, the Jutei's now got a fucking lightsaber or something. Oh, Sunstop, fucking yo. I mean, we know so many people over there. It shouldn't be too hard to make that happen, right? So far, the only thing I've seen from Neon Dynasty that made me go, ooh, was the Evangelion reference with one of the big monsters, which was very cool. Although, Fred, the narrative doesn't necessarily mean we're going to get it when we think we're going to get it. Let us remember that Emrakul didn't show up the last time we returned to wherever the feck it is that he hangs out. Oh my god, how have I forgotten the name of that set? I'm the worst. Only because Emrakul had fecked off to another plane of existence, which was the vampires versus vampire hunters world. Innistrad, yeah. And it was like, surprise, all those angels, they're actually messed up Cthulhu-esque monsters now, and Emrakul is 2 card big. Yeah, congratulations, Emrakul is now the moon. Sorry, Vanderbeest just adding they should rebrand Oculus to Metaface. Just because it's dumb. It's a dumb name for a dumb thing you put on your face. I'm sorry, are we not starting at the beginning of playlist anymore? Is this not what we're doing? Friends, I do have on my list to get us some new tunes. Yeah, Oculus's facehugger now. Oh, that's interesting. Wolfcrad saying that Roblox posted a huge and deeply technical post-mortem to explain the 3-day outage from last year. That's fascinating. Considering if they've been in the crosshairs quite a lot. I guess they're making money to an extent where they're not really concerned with a lot of the bad press and bad PR they've been facing. So feck them. It's... sometimes, despite trying to maintain a level head in the industry, I do get very frustrated. Mostly due to things like Roblox has been around for a long time, has been making lots of money for a long time. And it is only since kind of like mid-lockdown resulting in even more success on top of success. And I believe they've either gone public or have been looking to go public. That's only when people have started to take notice. But it's not like these business practices are new. And it's not like Roblox hasn't become a huge part of culture. Like, there are Roblox toys in toy aisles. It is available in all schools, libraries. Like, it runs on a potato. Meaning, it is far more accessible than other titles. Like, it's definitely more accessible than pre-acquisition Minecraft. And when you think about how big that is. So, I'm not saying that I'm mad that People Make Games finally did like a good expose on it. It's just, I've been there every year at GDC, and every year that I've been at GDC, there's Roblox. They have their big stand. No one's ever paying attention to them. They've been the stealthy heavyweight in the room, second only to Tencent, who tend to have like a trestle table or two and just someone looking very, very bored. I'm reminded of the concept that true power doesn't have to front. You see these huge stands of like Unity and Epic, like facing off against each other. This engine versus this engine. Powerhouses with 2-story stands and hidden rooms inside their own booth. And then there's Tencent just sitting there. Who is it? It's a bloke on a phone. Oh no, sorry. Last time that I went to GDC, it was fancy because they did have not just 1 but 2 trestle tables for Tencent and Tencent. I want to say International, which is weird because they're an international company. I always make a point to take a photo of them just as a comparable. Sorry, and if this is all Greek to you, Tencent are one of the biggest companies. They are definitely one of the biggest companies in gaming, possibly worldwide. Meaning that despite owning a huge, besides owning a huge chunk of the games industry, they don't need to flex. They don't have like a "here's Tencent" and a huge ostentatious stand just to front on everybody else. They're just there. Sorry, you're chatting Magic the Gathering Planeswalkers, and here I am nattering away. Sorry, back on the Magic stuff, Aldous was just saying that they love the idea that the Innistrad residents, seeing these tentacled horrors descending from the sky, goes, "Yep, that's Thursday. Martha, get the good pitchfork. It's going to be a busy day." Well, so Varbles, I didn't want to say with a surety because the last time I checked in, and you know I don't have a full grasp of, like, you know, the big company international business scene, but last that I saw it was Alibaba and Tencent, the two biggest, and they were kind of vying for, like, who was the heaviest heavyweight. But it's been so long since I've looked into that proper, and I've only really had the capacity to understand Tencent's influence on games. You know, to understand them as a whole company and what they can do and are able to. Like, that feels like a full-time job just learning that, you know? Okay. I mean, Varbles, I'm not fact-checking or anything. I'm just, I don't want to speak with any assurity. Does that make a weird sense? But yes, for the video games, there's so many. So if anyone wants us to play video game sommelier whilst picking things from the varying sales, I would be honoured, because I do love recommending people video games. Like, I'm thinking, there's quite a few titles on my wish list that are like 99 cents. I'm seriously considering mopping up a few of them. Although it's always difficult because Steam, when you go by price, Steam includes free games as cheaper than, and I'm like, yeah, okay. But the free games are on there just to remind me to get them later. Vanderby says that he'd love to go to Gen Con and see like two Magic the Gathering stands face off against each other, fronting different planeswalkers. Yes! See, that was the thing, is that while there were tenuous alliances, I always saw the planeswalkers as being so diametrically opposed to one another that they would never be like a team of friendos. And then we had the Justice League era, and I'm like, come on! Like, Chandra don't play that way. You can't put Mr. Hunter and Magistry in the Forests next to, I'll just burn your fucking house down because you bore me. And I quote, if you have a bigger problem, you just need a bigger boom. Staden being like, some people watch kids! Oh. Though it is interesting, when I think of all the things that I've really enjoyed narratively about Magic the Gathering, very few of it have been at Planeswalker level. I think about that a lot. Mainly because I only really get a lot of time to kind of ponder things in the back of my brain. I actually get to play games much. Wait, was this the one? Okay, now that wasn't it. Sorry, me looking off into the middle distance there. There's one particular title that I've been wanting to play with everybody, and I'm trying to remember it. It's from the same people that did, I believe, is it Neptune's Call, the great big space game where everyone falls out with each other. The premise is simple. It's a fantasy turn-based, well, I should say slow play fantasy survival game where you play varying kingdoms as a zombie apocalypse is washing across the land, where you must trade resources, ideals, work together to fight back the hordes, or defend your own ass and leave everybody else to die. Also a valid maneuver. God, I wonder if the Black Watchman's... Sorry, on the video game recommendation space, I wonder if the Black Watchman is still a game you can get into. That was the one which was basically a wrapper for a big style ARG that pre-lockdown, if you got to the toppest of top tier, if you got the toppest of top tier, you could get selected psych eval, on the proviso of a psych eval, you could get selected for standalone live action events where they would like mess with you in real time. Pretty feckin' metal. And it's the same people who make Night Team 4. Oh, and Sunstop, have a lovely rest of your day, mate. Cheers to you. Oh. Must. Rogue Jeffrey, I have played Daemon X Machina. We did a stream of it. As an Armored Core fan, it absolutely resonates with us. Oh no! Well, Ultrazini, I'm going to be narrowing for a while. You can, if you need to download and come back, you can. Today's game is going to be super feckin' weird and arty. So... Oh, yo! Well, Wolfgrad, you're going to have an absolutely wonderful time with Manifold Garden. I think Oh, that was it. I made the mistake of leaving it for a day and change. And the puzzle that I was stuck on, I forgot the things that led me to it. So I couldn't just jump back in. Yeah, I ended up kind of losing my train of thought with it. I think it's the best way to put it. Oh, and Jeffrey, it's no worry. It's no worry. Daemon X Machina, or whatever it's called, the thing that's fascinating about it is that it's a trimmed down experience comparable to Armored Core. It's not as hardcore, no pun intended. Like, you don't have to know how to... Staying cap stable isn't as complicated as it is on Armored Core titles, and you don't have to worry about, like, aerodynamics and stuff like that. See, Ems, I see your message. I see you say, hey, Will, check Discord. And I look over and I see a little alert from Galley Cantina. Why are you like this? Why? I haven't even looked at it yet. I'm not even looking at it yet. And I'm already... I know what you're doing. Oh, would you look at that? It's more Nando's! Cheeky bloody Nando's. What have I done to deserve this? What shenanigans is afoot? Fucking yo. I'm just adding, here to cause pain and then leave. Oh, good. Back in terror. Why are you like this? Why? Have I not been a good and gracious host Have I not been an excellent conversationalist? What threats do you put upon me? An evil marksman. Firstly, Watto and welcome. We've had a D&D campaign going here for a good while. We got our Memory Equals Null being kind of a monthly adventure. I do like D&D. So yeah, congrats on getting your campaign written up. Wolfcrad, why are you like this? You're all criminals! I will report you to the Shadow Realm. I will report you to the Shadow Realm. Oh, lordy, lordy. What was I going to add? Oh, yes. So, friends, we'll probably be doing Paparazzi, the game, next week. Reason being is I had this horrible feeling that if I did a stream of Paparazzi, an adorable game where you take photos of dogs being adorable, that would be the day where Amos would decide to be a pro-tier arsehole. Like, I'd be yelling Amos no until blue in the face. And I really didn't want to have this juxtaposition of like, oh, look at this cute little puppy. Leave it, you little bastard. Oh, look at these dogs. I will throw you out the window. Obviously an empty threat. And just Wolfcrad quietly asking, do they have Nando's in the Shadow Realm? I'm trying not to mock yell too loudly lest I awaken the demon. He's having a happy little snooze in the other room, so nice and calm, nice and calm. Found a beast. Of course there's no Nando's in Shadowrun. There's no Nando's in Seattle. It doesn't happen. It's shenanigans. Anyway, how's it going with your lovely selves? Sorry, as I said, games industry's been quiet today, and the thread I've been the thing that I was talking about earlier on was how game developers deal with content creators just not understanding their game. And there's been some really interesting chats back. Whilst we've been talking here, one friend just said, and I quote, "Is bang head on desk loudly the answer you're expecting?" And then goes on to say, "The icing on the cake is when they explain a mechanic with complete authority and absolute self-confidence, all while being completely wrong. That's the one that must drive people up the wall." Like, the time and craft that goes into making a game, and the intent that you can put in behind mechanics. It's not just how the numbers come out, it's how that result makes you feel. And then having some pasty bastard be like, "Well, I think the way this mechanic works is dumb and stupid because this is how it happens and I know better." You're sitting there being like, you don't. And that's how we got onto card games and stuff like that. God. I do want an excuse to play more of Inscription, I will be honest, and I can understand people's, like, clamouring for more ways to play it, engage with it, and continue through. Do you know what I mean? Sorry. I have a very weird game to show everybody today. I've been, I guess, kind of saving this one because this might be one people want to pick up during the winter sale. Well, not winter sale, the lunar sale. And it's always interesting when going through games on Steam and seeing like, all right, who do I know who has played this already? And I'm like, I know 2 people have played this, and I know 2 people who are aware that it exists, and that is it.
Hey Will, I'm gonna be psychic and tell you to check Steam.
Huh. Okay, as you said that, as the alert popped up, I look over here and look. Oh, that's fucking cool of you. Okay, so uncertain last quiet day. Oh, I see what you did there. Thank you kindly. Light at the end. Okay, story-driven adventure game set in a post-apocalyptic world. Experience the mysterious vibe of each carefully experience the mysterious vibe of each of carefully explored locations. Solve diverse puzzles, make fateful decisions, and God, this is doing my dyslexic brain a damage. Fascinating. I mean, no, stammering, thank you kindly for the gift. That's feckin' cool of you. That's feckin' cool of you. I'll give them a nose. Sorry, I don't know if you saw, the other thing that was doing the rounds in video game discussion is that there are too many video games. And it's a fascinating kind of... Alice! Why are you like this? What is a game but a miserable pile of code? An excellent question. Now, is Vampire Saviors, is this the semi-bullet hell title that has just been taking over the industry? I saw an article about it in Rock, Paper, Shotgun a little while back. And since then it has consumed just about everyone. Ah, yes, that's the one. It is $3. Right, this is something I'm absolutely going to play. Rip what little free time I have, which is very little. What do you mean I forgot the glass smash? These are wood floors. I have to clean that up. Not all of us have like all of Dracula's resources to have somebody clean up all his smashed wine bowls. And then, yeah, I've not really been using glasses. I've got the fancy unglazed clay. I have one that's the size of a tankard now because feck, all premise of sensibility. Just give me a lot of wine. And let the rest of it take its course. Oh, was that the glass smash, huh? Was that the glass smash? Oh, God. Yeah, sorry for just getting a nose into video gamery stuff. Honestly, I didn't really have anything interesting to add to what is often described as the discourse. You know my feels. I get very frustrated that the most vocal individuals in... So I shouldn't say the most vocal. The individuals that have some of the largest followings in gaming spend most of the time complaining about games, or complaining about people complaining about games, when there's so much about this medium to love. Do you know what I mean? There's so much that we can celebrate and talk about. it gets very tiring sometimes. You'd get to look at the games industry only from its social media presence, you'd honestly think that everyone in it is miserable and hates their job. And that's absolutely not the case. But that's not the story. Sorry, where are my manners? Stammering, Vanderbeest, Wolfcrad. Thank you for the bits, friends. And Alnus and Stammering, thank you for the games. That's feckin' cool of you. I don't know if they will be streamed games or otherwise. And if they are streamable, then I have to add them to the great list, which desperately needs an update. I mean, Sir John Bacon, it's one of the reasons why I love doing this. I'll always prefer celebrating games over dunking on them. But it's the old thing of it's easier to tear down than to create. And it's far more time consuming to celebrate what makes games wonderful than it is to just riff on them. Because you have to understand so much of the heart and the process and find a way to convey that forward. And it's hard, it's exhausting. It's bloody worth it. Whereas hating on something, you need not understand it. I've seen a million different quotes. Though the one that I did quite like, sorry, not quotes, but terms. The one that I've come to understand from this latest round of There's Too Many Indie Games is pigeon chess. Pigeon chess being when entering into an argument of someone for whom they will not have good faith. That is to say, it is like playing chess against a pigeon, in that they will knock over all the pieces, scream loudly and shit on the board, then go back to their flock and tell them how, and confirm their victory. And Dariquil, Watto? It was Jeff Fogel, wasn't it? Very unfollowed. I agree. The fact that there are too many games on the Steam marketplace is a problem if you consider the idea that all titles need to be worthy of purchase. And the individual that Saban is mentioning is the one who started this whole bloody thread. And there was a time where just being on the Steam platform meant that you would sell at least like 20,000 copies of your game, because it was such a curated space that anything going up there alongside Valve's masterclass collection of video games was a huge deal. And then it entered into a weird middling state where if you knew somebody, or if you knew somebody who knew somebody, you could get onto Steam. And then the green light process was meant to be an automated process, but ended up being more of a kind of a Kickstarter and abuse kind of setup. And now it's just pay $100, get your game on Steam. Now, would I like to see some curation of what goes up on Steam? Yes. Do I think that Sex with Hitler, the strategy visual novel sex game, should be up there? No, not really. But there we go. I'm not in charge of that. I'm just annoyed that it was recommended to me by a robot. But in the purpose of art, removing the barrier of entry between you as a creator and an audience is always good. Unfortunately, it doesn't mean success anymore. And if your goal is to just create a game and put it out there, you can do that right now. And I love that. If your goal is to become a professional game developer where the games you create are your primary income source, you'll need to do more than just release them. Stammering, thank you for not gifting me Honey Pop. I do check the things that pop up before I show everybody. Okay, as an aside to an aside, Stammering, At some point, I need to sit down and actually go through some of the smut titles that have been on Steam, because there's this weird juxtaposition of games that are doing articulation and emulation on retro titles and using smut as the pitch, essentially. We've talked about it before. It's like Castle Breaker X or something, which is a Castlevania clone, which is a really refined articulation on Castlevania, but it's got a whole bunch of sex in it. So it's the old adage of using sex to sell something, but then having a great game behind it. And I'm like, this is a strange thing I need to understand. But yeah, sorry, jumping back. I do think that Jeff Vogel's definitely one of those old games industry contrarians, and reading the thread, he's happy to piss everybody off. He has... It's no skin off his nose that the whole industry went, fuck you. He's completely content with it. He is an old game dev who makes a very specific genre of games and has hit his core audience already. And his core audience are not going to be pissed off by what he was saying, because what he's saying doesn't really affect people who play games. It affects people who make games, because it does introduce... It hints to the very concept of gatekeeping, which is something that a lot of people are very much against. Saber was just adding that buried in a whole pile of nonsense, one of the most valuable nuggets was the idea that there's a lot of effort being spent on breadth of projects that could make some amazing things if it were focused. See, I disagree, but that's not on a theoretical. I disagree because that focus requires more time and more resources, which tends to lead to games which have to have a broader focus to allow for more sales. I mean, in an ideal magical world, big companies like Ubisoft and stuff like that wouldn't have 2 or 3 projects made by hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. They'd have a crap load of projects made by small teams, each of them articulating on some different ideas. At least that's my ideal. You know, allowing creatives to have the resources that they need. Yeah, we'll keep going with this natter. I'm enjoying this natter, because we're going to be playing some arty-farty stuff in a bit. But yeah, I don't think that that Jeff's take was particularly vitriolic or nasty or mean, and I understand where he's coming from. What irks me is that he wasn't going for anything super bad, and his point is one I disagree with, but it wasn't put forward in a nasty way or anything like that. But the whole games industry had to dogpile onto it because they had literally nothing better to do. That grinds my gears. Yeah, and Salem, you're right. It's an interesting perspective, even if there are pitfalls. And the idea of finding ways to connect 4 to 10 people to make something greater, rather than wouldn't it be great if everyone worked at Ubisoft? Yeah. You're right that the game industry still doesn't have enough good inroads for people looking to transition from hobbyist to professional, or for juniors to come into the industry. We're really not good about that. And one of the other threads I saw doing the rounds today was a discussion about video game courses. How you can do a 3-year video game creation course that will absolutely not guarantee you a job in the games industry. While there are some core elements that can help set one on your path, those courses are by no means a sure bet. It's a large amount of money to put on the table that hopefully you'll be able to get a job in that profession. And, well, I understand that's a problem with, like, for-profit academia, which is much larger than just what we're talking about here. Oh, and so Stammering is doing uni course to gain skills that need to get a job in the games industry. Oh, it's just... I'm not saying those skills will set you up poorly, but you'll need to be the one that goes and gets yourself those gigs. And that... Yeah. It's a whole kettle of monkeys right there. Why do they keep selling me kettles at this stage? I'm honestly not sure. And sorry, and jumping back to the too many games conversation, the fact that it is an individual who is a famously solo developer studio complaining that there are too many indie games, the irony is not lost on me either, Salem. Wolfgratch is saying in the entire software industry, very few companies want to hire junior devs, but everyone complains they cannot find people. It's so weird. Yeah, well, and one of the other things that Chet talked about, which I don't think we've really gotten into, I feel like it's more common knowledge for us as a group, but it isn't as talked about in the industry as you'd think, is bringing on junior developers and pairing them with senior teams. Or with a senior dev with junior teams to help get them into best practice, help get them focused and making stuff. Because I've seen what happens when you just put a bunch of juniors together and there's no focus, there's no cohesion, they haven't worked in that kind of space. Now, there are individuals that can work off their own volition, but they are very rare. Like, those are the ones that always strike me as you could have gone it alone and done it. Bad Beast? No. Oh, and Stammering. Again, I'm not dissing on like uni as a learning methodology or anything like that. I have met one person in my entire time in this industry who went, you know what? I'm going to teach myself a skill and then I'm going to go do it. And they actually did. One person in the countless sea. I've known a few people that got into video games from a hobbyist standpoint and then took their portfolio of that and then moved it into a professional capacity. To dream it, it's not Thor. It's not Thor. We find ourselves in the company of a shadow mage, no less. Watto and welcome! We're having a natter about... I mean, I guess at this point we're talking about, like, entry-level jobs in the games industry and the training available for. And we're going to be playing a very weird indie game, which I thought we were going to start like 20 minutes ago, but then we got on to talking about this. So I'm having a good time. And Pun Spectre, Watto friend. Hello, hello. Varble says, adding a junior is expensive. Yes. The break-even point on your ROI can be 1 to 2 years. I wouldn't say 1 to 2 years. But they do need a specific form of, not necessarily onboarding, but they need a senior within close proximity to keep them focused. There doesn't necessarily need to be a senior as in like a managerial space, but like... I'm just trying to think how much of this I can talk about. I've got to speak in vagaries at this point, so please forgive me if it doesn't seem like I'm making a pointed discussion here. But this is one of those like change the names and stories, but change the names and faces, but the story remains the same. So I saw what happened when the idea of putting together a bunch of juniors to make a targeted project went down. And it wasn't that any of them lacked the skills for their specific discipline. It was how they could take all these pieces, put them together, and deliver a product was where it fell down. They didn't know how to set, proper milestones and carry it through. They weren't given enough focus and direction.
How do you jump higher on a waterbed? You fill it with spring water.
Pun Spectre. Puns. Are you proud of yourself for that? Sorry, thank you kindly for the 200 bits. Feckin' yo. Oh, lordy. But yeah, so jumping back. It was very difficult because despite the fact that it was a junior team, the expectation was still that they were going to deliver a product. They were still going to deliver a video game which could be sold. But without seniors with them, they have to there's no one to focus them into doing like a minimum viable product. There's no one to get them to sit down and go, all right, what is your next sprint? What is the next thing you're doing? When do we get to the point where this is a playable game? And whilst there were senior members of staff in the studio, they were on other things. So it meant that these juniors didn't have direct interaction. They could go over and chat to an individual about a specific part of their craft, but there was no one to lead them. Again, flat structure would be bad. The Shadow Mage would like to put forward that they've been working on a joke about berries. Sadly, they stopped when they realised it was just low-hanging fruit. Low-hanging fruit. Crimes referred to. Crimes! I tell you! Oh, gee, don't put that juju on me. Oh, Straight was just giving an oof at the no senior support. Was like, it was a small enough studio where you could walk over to someone who was senior in your field and be like, how do I do X? But they didn't have a senior on the team to lead them. And it's just, I think about it a lot because it feels like they were set up to fail. Like, no matter how good their process was, no matter how good the things they created were, without that kind of focus or cohesion, they were set up to fail. Alright, sorry, I know we're kind of going back to like the juniors and onboarding. It is doable.
Okay, one more. I discovered recently that I have a fear of overly complicated buildings. I have a complex.
I think what amuses me about this is that Puns, you're throwing bits, literal money, which will keep me alive by the same medium of doing me a damage. I don't know if this process is lost on you. A bacon adventure, thank you for filling the pint glass. Oh, and Moose, what, oh friend? Hello, hello. Sorry, just Moose, I know you're having fun with it, but you're entirely right. You have a team of juniors that they could ask what they knew they didn't know, but had no support for the things that they didn't know that they didn't know. Yes. I think. Yeah, and Wolfgrad, having somebody able to realise when people are going on the wrong path as well, it is very possible to kind of get yourself into I'm trying to think of the right phrase for it, because it's not legacy debt, that's old tech. It's more the case of you end up going down one path for the creation of a video game that ends up costing you more time to undo. And I'm trying to think of what the correct term for that is. I guess I need more coffee.
What's the best way to keep a streamer in suspense?
Why are you like this? Stammering, thank you for the 200, you fucking terror. Fucking love you. Oh yeah, and Moose, I do like that even when you're making a valid, serious point about, like, you know, bringing on juniors and onboarding people, it still comes out with, like, ridiculous wordplay jokes. Oh. So I have a game for you, friends. I have a game for you today. The game is called The Plane Effect, and it is very arty. Very arty. I've been wanting to show you this one because, one, hardly anyone I know has played it. And two, it does some very, very interesting things. I think the art style is very curious, and it does that wonderful job of taking something very, very mundane and injecting the incredibly surreal into it in a way that doesn't feel wrong or obtuse or unhinged. Yeah, Wolfgrad, an arty game over here. Shocking, I know. I can't believe Steam still hasn't fixed the ability to search for just a developer's work. Because I was trying to see if this particular developer had created anything. Spoiler, they have not. Or if they have, I don't know, because it keeps trying to show me the publisher's page, not the developer's page. Flat structures, they work great, except for when they don't. Alright, tunes. Okay, Pun Spectre, enjoy Gloomhaven, have a lovely rest of your evening. I might not be here when you return, as we have Amos's very first training session this evening. See, stammering, it's an old bug that for most teams, regardless of whether you click the developer or the publisher, it takes you to the publisher page. There's some where it takes you through to the developer, but they are rare. Anyway, friends, without further ado, it is my esteemed pleasure to introduce to you the Plane Effect. A little story about trying to go home on time. But I do enjoy having these little chat sessions with you all. I'm just sorry they've been happening so much later in the day. Like, just...
Who wants to sing?
Oh, and Lost Flowers, thank you for the host. And Lost Flowers, I'm sorry you're having a hard day, friend. I don't know if this will necessarily be a game of normalcy, but I can certainly provide you... God, that's loud. I can certainly provide you with something interesting. How about that? How is there no audio? Life. Sorry, friends. Let me just bring this down. It does mean that the alerts will be very quiet, so I apologise. But hopefully that's better. Hopefully. Well, I'll have a little natter before we get started, just in case anyone needs me to adjust the audio any further. But yeah, so Lost Flowers, God, we've been nattering about a myriad of different topics. I was talking about conversations I was having on Twitter, mostly about people not understanding video games and then speaking with grand authority on varying content to those effects, which I had to ask some game dev friends their feelings on it. Oh, audio sounding good. Thank you, Strager. And we were chatting about the video game discourse around there being just too many video games. I have none of that. But for now, let's get arty-farty. I present to you all the plane effect. Alright. So we've got normal, narrative hint, guided. Normal, I guess? I don't know. It's not a combat game. Krypton, I haven't even unpacked the beret yet. Just so feckin' happy to be here. Is she brushing her eyes? Oh, and Quasi Watto, friend. Hello, hello. Yeah, Miss Nova's was probably meant to be makeup or mascara or something. It just, the teeth brushing sound plus her motions was like... He really feckin' loves his job. No, I don't like that. So I'm gonna need you to step away from the camera. Not what I was expecting. Feck. Vanderbeest, you might be right. Sometimes you just gotta scrub those eldritch abominations out of your eyes. Favor 6. Obviously, thank you for the bits. Adding, what do you call a Mr. Potato Head with glasses on? A spectator. A spectator. Go to my house. Dragon Talion, Watto. Hello, hello. You're right, Varbles, he was clearly too happy. Let's get the hell out of here. Everyone else has already gone home, I guess. Mate, did you just leave a photo of your family on the floor? Until it fades. What is this Back to the Future tier? Woohoo! Woohoo! Interesting.
Stop that incessant clicking.
Yo! Misnomers, that's fucking cool of you. Gifting a sub to Dragon Talion like it's no big deal. Just... fascinating. And Misnomers, you are correct. It is easy to lurk sans ads, although it should be only doing adverts when people come in. It's the only option I have to make sure they don't pop up midway through us having a chat and a natter. I was watching a very good friend of mine who was making some really good points on Ubisoft's new title, and it was like just as it was like just as we were starting to get into like the real meat of the discussion, it interrupted with like 4 ads in a row. And there's my friend talking in the top corner, gesturing very excitedly, and all I'm getting is like feckin' DoorDash trying to sell me a service that I have used already via the medium of ad stream. Alright, so we don't need a shot. Okay. Interesting. Krypton, I wish I'd timed that. Like, I wish it had been intentional that I was going to start talking about that very topic the moment. Oh man, I'm getting my Crash Bandicoot legs back. Ah, darn it. Oh, okay. Boosh. Yeah, Wolfcrad. And then, of course, as soon as the Twitch advert would come to a close, and that's the secret that you need to sell 1 million copies of your video game. God, I do think, as a weird aside, a thing that I never thought I'd say is that Twitch should probably consider doing things like banner ads and site takeovers more often than the big advertising campaigns that they've had recently. The best ones that they've done in the past have been the Bits specials. It was... God, what was it? It was like the new Terminator movie. It was the last one I think they did. Where it was like if anyone cheered Terminator faces, Twitch threw on like an extra 10%. And it was brilliant because it was advertising and it kept us all going. So, like, sign me the hot heck up. Alright, he doesn't want to put his coat on yet. Alright, mate. Oh. Hey, Misnomers, I'm lucky enough to have these wonderful mother hubbards. Like, the whole House Carl thing was not started by me. That was all them during XCOM no less. Okay. So we made one button go Wii. And that's not right. Now, I wonder if we're able to turn on... Oh, okay, so game mode here. Narrative hint guided. Let's try narrative hint. See what that leads to. Or we can turn on guided. Because I am curious as to like the accessibility of this. Sorry, yeah, Misnomers, I'm fucking lucky to have these lovely mother hubbards. And literally keep my dumbass alive. And yeah, the role of Housecarl was never something I would have asked for. And I've actively tried to discourage it in the past, which has never worked. Because telling these lovely Mother Hubbards not to do something shockingly does not work. I know. Bizarre. Okay, what has my dumbass missed? I've missed something.
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, our 4 reptilian heroes,
That wasn't...
overcome the Ark villain Shredder.
That was not a... Okay, so there's still a great big fiery hole of doom and gloom in the air. Okay. J-Post, I was absolutely not fishing there, nor was I challenging the Hunters of Housecarl. Merely pointing out that much like House Chaos, I have no control. I don't decide what you lot get up to. Yeah, Ultrazini, telling you lot what not to do fails more often than anything else. Hey Bobby, how you doing? Does not approve of that, alright.
Saying you aren't challenging someone to do something clearly means that you are and they must.
Feckin' hell. Well, Miss Nomus, congratulations. You've taken the Jarldom from Stooge. What will you do with your newfound power, as you are Jarl of the Day? But thank you for 1,000 bits. That's $10 to keep us going. I see, the thing is, I've always been really honest about, you know, cash, bits, subs, all of that. And I think that comes from the fact that I started doing this full time when I was in a very bad... Oh! Had to open the icy door. Yeah, we're gonna go put a coat on. Yeah, when I started doing this, I was living on my mate's sofa and I couldn't legally work in the US. So that left me in a very strange position. But from there, like, there was no obfuscation about what stuff was doing. It was just going to keep my dumb ass alive, and that's kind of continued. Amos is making weird noises. No, you okay, Bobby? He's got his arse hanging off the sofa trying to do a snooze. And compliment cap. What, ho, friend? Krypton's saying that perhaps what I need to do is use... How is that so loud? Perhaps what I need to do is use reverse psychology, but I'm trying not to. The goal is to be honest. You know, if I sat there and went, I sure hope no one does the thing. Like, that's a jerk move. Oh, and Jackie Fox, that's way cool. This game is so loud. I've turned it down so much. But, Jackie, that sounds super cool. Which one did you go for? Amos, Bobby, what's you up to? I don't believe I said do the thing. I think I said. Stammering. Thank you for the 200, friend. Now, Miss Noma, the question is, as you are now the Jarl, what will you do in your rule? What is your decree with your newfound power? And whoever that spooky anonymous ghost was, thank you as well. Anyway, TLDR, I'm lucky enough to have the varying houses, and I know how fucking lucky I am to get supported by them. I never want anyone to think that I take that for granted. And I think, especially after the Bo Burnham special, like watching the stream a bit of that did me a proper damage. So yeah, I guess I get a bit arty-farty about it, but, you know, I'd like...
There's a thing going on.
Apparently there's a thing now! Chew, mother hobbiting chew. Boof! How's that? Got a big old train rolling through your indie game. Well, Jackie, that sounds lovely. Favor 6 with, when does a joke turn into a dad joke? When it becomes apparent. Why do you do this? You could do anything with your powers. Ah! Oh, lordy, lordy. Oh, to Artsy Boy, thank you kindly for the follow. Sorry, we're kind of mid-train at the moment, and I keep poking my head around the corner, making sure he's having a settle. You're okay, Bobby? Yeah, Amos is alright, he's just having a settle.
Oh, a train thing. Okay.
Oh, just a train thing! Fucking hell. And Strager, thank you kindly. It's another 1,000. It's $10 to pay the bills. I'm going to need more coffee.
Question, which came first? The thing or the thing?
I'd have to think about that. Because, I mean, stammering gamer, the obvious answer is the thing came before the thing. But, you know what, I'd have to look at the timelines. I'm sure there's a historian that we can contact. Why? Why? Favor 6 adding, for 100, what do you call an alligator in a vest? An investigator. Is it too early to start drinking? Is it? Lordy, lordy. I'm so stammering, thank you for the 200.
Hey, you're actually around for the beginning of the train this time.
Well, yes, because I don't have the pee-pee monster dragging me out to go sort things. Lordy, lordy. Andor, thank you for 400. I fucking know. Oh. As we've got like...
The existence of Google Earth, Apple Air, and Amazon Fire implies there is a Microsoft Water.
But once every generation, there is one who can master all 4 elements. So, funny fact, Bacon Avenger, at the Microsoft offices, they do have Microsoft-only branded soft drinks, including, I believe, a kind of water. So... And also, thank you for the 200.
I am happiest when not in power.
See, you say that, but by your powers combined, Misnomer, you were put back on the throne. It's almost the old adage of those who wish to lead should never be given power, and those who are reluctant to take up the throne are exactly the people that should have it. Perhaps you are the Jarl everyone's been looking for. Did you consider that? I gotta talk a lot of nonsense. And, well, Krypton, you are medically correct. You are medically correct that it's never too early to start drinking. The effects of starting drinking early are very consistent. Flavor 6, why are you like this? Used to be addicted to the hokey pokey. I'll turn myself around. Ask not about the state of their left leg. What's that? What's that one anime that you like again? Mobile Gundam suit thing? Yeah, that's the one. Now, Wolfgrad, are you genuinely asking which of the Gundams I'm a fan of, or are you messing with me in real time, or both? Both is good. Vanderbeest, doing your best, keeping the pint glass filled. No mean feat on days like today. So Misnomer is saying that as we're already drinking, I guess the Yalda means that it's not too early to drink as long as you have water and snacks as well. The Jarl has spoken. The Jarl has spoken. Now, I've been drinking far too much over the last few weeks, and I am definitely looking forward to taking a break. But that's another story. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me, friends. Inspired you all? What inspired you all to train here? That is what I find fascinating. Sorry, my brain's currently doing the whole like tech company Avatar mashup. What if we are already living the sequel to The Legend of Korra? What if we've been doing that the whole time? I didn't tell you to do the thing. I told you not to do the thing. Okay, in a mocking parody of myself and mixed with the Ashford family from Resident Evil Code Veronica, I may have mockingly joked about the idea.
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, our 4 reptilian heroes, have overcome the arch villain Shredder.
And on top of all of that, Sir John Bacon loosing an arrow into the crowd, and you managed to get Fagin. Good work. Good bloody work. Oh, friends, I'm so sorry. That yawn caught me right off guard. Okay, sorry. Let me just... Okay, joking aside. It is very important to me that you lot know that I don't take this shit for granted. Being an individual on the internet is by no means an easy feat. And being lucky enough to be supported by other individuals literally across the planet blows my tiny fucking mind. The thing, and I know I've said this a few times, but I still feel it. Like the idea that any of you are like, this Will fellow, he seems to be saying face word noises that I quite like. Here's $1 so he'll keep doing it. Like, that is a very big deal, and the lengths and breadths that you've all gone through to keep this all going, keep me going, is huge. And I have this constant fear that I'm going to morph into one of those, alright, yeah, thank you for the 250-month subscription, whoop, I appreciate you, video games, gamer noises. I genuinely worry about that, because, you know, as of April, we'll have been doing this for 4 years. That's bloody massive. And that doesn't stop being a big deal, you know? And the thing is, it's entirely from this. In the past, we have done some sponsored content, and that's been real cool. I try and keep it, again, like, with teams that I know we want to work with. Or, like, games that I personally want to support or personally enjoy, you know what I mean? Hang on. Are you noticing the little... Is it coming across? There's a visual effect as we're moving through the area where it's kind of like it's drawing the squares on the ground as we're moving through. Fascinating. Well, Krypton, that is very kind of you to say. All it took was being a games industry disaster. If you want to see my fears acted out, if you haven't watched Bo Burnham's Inside, or I mean, I guess if you have, there's one section where he pretends to be a person live streaming a game, and he's live streaming himself having a breakdown in his room. Now the bit's meant to be. Let me get that coin. I think the bit's meant to be a parody, not a parody, like an observation of, like, if you were playing yourself as a video game, how would that go? And what struck me was the juxtaposition of him playing the video game character version of himself having a bad time, and then twinning that with... Excuse me, are you a robot? Okay, and our character is exceedingly dead. Let's try that again, shall we? You okay, Bobby? What else are we doing there? Punting this can around. And JP, we are doing lovely this evening. How are you doing? Okay, Miss Noma, that is lovely of you to stop. Piss, that was my ticket. No, you're okay. Amos, you're okay. I yelled, oh, piss, and he looked at me like, I haven't done anything, it's fine. But no, Miss Noma's, that's very kind of you to say. And I'm glad, like, one of the things that I really wanted to do with this was I wanted to be the second screen company that I was looking for when I was, especially working in NZ, when sending a lot of emails, doing a lot of nonsense. Alright, just gonna go down this feckin' rabbit hole. But no, I wanted to be that kind of... accompaniment? I don't know if that's the right word. I like the idea that, you know, while people are working on stuff, or just chilling out, or just even some background conversation, I could do that. And it's really cool to be able to. Oh, well, Draconic Dude, that is a very nice thing to say. Though there's no super secret source here. Like, I'm not doing anything magically special or different. I've just been lucky enough to have a lot of practice. I got to do... oh, got an achievement for punting the can off. Imperios, how in the whole feck are you doing, friend? Now, I got lucky because I had to do live streaming stuff for my job when I was at CA. So I basically got kind of like a risk-free environment to practice it. And I'd already been doing YouTube stuff at CA and things like that. So, before Twitch was really a big viable part of like the communication of video games, you know, good old Justin TV days. We did a few soak tests, we did a few test streams. God, before there was even a Twitch offices in London, like I got to sit down with them and talk to people about it. Here's a wild thing. Back in the day, one of the concerns about Twitch was how it was going to
Stop that incessant
Yo. Ah! Okay, Jackie, thank you kindly, even though you're being terror. Thank you kindly for gifting a sub too, and I quote, train station trash. Thing is, that's either a joke account or an incredibly funny individual. No, just as a weird aside, like back in the day talking to Twitch, one of their concerns was actually stream sniping and people using streams to mess with people online. They even introduced a feature back in the day where you could set the delay of the video. So, what... Oh, I need them gloves. Dies. So what they did is they implemented a feature on the back end where you used to be able to offset the delay, mainly because Warframe and EVE Online had started using Justin TV proper, and people were starting to see the value of Twitch as a platform. Yeah. The Dreamer says, I used to remember that was a problem during watching the occasional Hearthstone streams. Yeah. Well, of course, the thing is, what makes live streaming so wonderful is being able to talk to people. You know, the lower the latency, the snappier our conversations are, which is what I love about it. And the idea now that I'd want to make it so that we couldn't chat feels surreal, to say the very least. Oh, here we go. So we have to blow the ticket out of the air vent. Woohoo! I'm solving puzzles! Though I will say, friendos, if you want to talk about like the actual professional space and the craft of streaming, do follow and chat to Aperios Unlimited. Aperios has basically been like my confidant and like person I can talk business with when it comes to the sphere of streaming. So if you're not following already, change that, and it's definitely a person worth having a talk to. But yeah, here I am kind of driving the points all over the place. We were doing the marketing exercise yesterday, which I thought was really fun. I don't know if you all enjoyed it.
Stop that incessant clicking.
Why? Why? Did you wake up this morning and choose chaos? Favor6 just gifted a sub to the game, meaning that I have just lost the game. You exhausting numpty. Well, Jackie, Favor6, despite both being gifted subs for comedy purposes, it still helps keep the lights on. So sincerely thank you, alright? Okay, we're done with the tube. What was I saying? Oh, yes! The thing yesterday when we were doing the marketing exercise, I really enjoyed. I hope you did. The thing was, having those kind of like... having the game chops, like, more upbeat mixes playing whilst we were doing it was something I thought was really interesting, because that is genuinely what I was doing in the past. What the hell? We just got tased. Okay, now Jackie, that's just taste and celebrating a great hero being a Macho Man Randy Savage, most notably known for his works in Skyrim. Jackie, I have not actually snapped into a Slim Jim, but I feel that one should discuss this event with Jim before going to it. But oh, Jackie again. Thank you. Sorry, I keep careening myself all over the place. Oh no! Just that it really... Yesterday's little, like, let's make a marketing campaign really reminded me of what it was like kind of working solo and, like, watching the streams or the recorded sets from MagFest and things like that, you know? Because that was what I had kind of, like, for conversation and company. Lost Flowers, my absolute pleasure, friend. My absolute pleasure. And Clank, take a weight off. Pour yourself a cup of whatever you fancy. I'm going to try and steal this coin without getting run over. Get out of the bloody road! And Fred, welcome back, dude. Anyway, I was just having a mini ramble about how I really enjoy doing this, and I am very lucky to be able to do it full time. And it is literally because you lot keep me going. I live in a fear that one day I'll start sounding like I expect it, that I'll sound like, you know, this is the norm. Oh, this is just what happens here. I'll become one of those insufferable cockwombles. And so, if it feels like I bang on about how much I enjoy doing this, that's why. Actually, Aperios, I did not know that. Aperios is saying that Macho Man Randy Savage was a pro baseball player for the St. Louis Cardinals. He played 289 games in 4 Major League seasons, batting something that seems very good. 16 home runs and 129 balls. I did not know that.
Stop that incessant clicking.
Not old, Will. That guy's a jerk. Jackie, thank you. Jackie, I don't know if you've noticed this, but with gifting comedy subs, you are like second on the House Carl leaderboards. I don't know if you've noticed this. Oh, Clank says every beverage I had is either caffeinated or literal poison. Me too! Oh no, I did actually have a cup of water earlier. Okay.
Stop that incessant clicking.
So, while Jackie gifted a sub to Old Will, the Stammering Gamer took offense to this and gifted a sub to Young Will. Oh! Thank you, Sadlin. Sadlin's saying that batting numbers are unconverted percentages, so Mr. Savage would hit a ball 25% of the time. Is that a good percentage? That seems like a good percentage.
Stop that incessant clicking.
Okay, that's not a real account. There is no cool Will. Seriously, Stammering Gamer, Jackie, both of you, thank you.
Stop that incessant clicking.
Okay.
And so, Jackie, with all of the shenanigans you got pulled, you made new Will
Stop that incessant clicking.
into the current Jarl. Oh, come on! It's no bloody taxi! Okay, Stammering Gamer, I hope you have a lovely rest of your evening. Thank you again. Get in the back of the van. Get in the back of the van. She's getting tased here. What is this? It's shenanigans.
Stop that incessant clicking.
There we go. Stammering gifting one last sub to Will is not cool. It's only funny because it's true. Oh, Faber6, did I miss yours? Oh yeah, no, Faber6, you got who Will? Sorry, my apologies. Thank you. And Crystix, Watto, good evening. Hello, hello. Welcome in, one and all. like there's more to this. What am I missing? Just have a walk around in here. Oh. Oh, and Misnomer. Nice. Stammering Gamer. Nice. She's wet. Something very strange is afoot here. Eh! Oh, way cool. Friends, Cryotix has been grinding on The Witcher 1 and finally managed to make it to Chapter 5. Congratulations. We are playing a game called The Plane Effect. A curious... I don't want to call this, like a surrealist indie puzzler? Point and click? It's one of those odd, like, intentional moon logic puzzle games. Fred says I'm not supposed to play chicken with cars. You're not the police of me! So was the taxi a red herring? Oh no, the fat burb is now down there. Ow. Fine. Zapadoo. So now we go down, throw the paper, disturb the bird, get into some mischief. No! I don't wanna! Can I winch my way out of a dab? Is that allowed? Oh. How you doing, Bubbies? You doing okay, Amos? Don't look upon your father as he's about to make a complete tit of himself. Clanks just adds, nice. I can hear your laughter. I want you to know that. I know what your laugh sounds like. I can hear it. Let's play a nice calm indie game. It will be right good. You saw this. You saw this and you chose chaos. Speaking of choosing chaos, how are you two puppies? They've turned their couch into their own personal bouncy castle. Alright. 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 Shush! No barking! I was a respected professional in my industry. Look at what I have been reduced to! The shame! Just favor 6 adding. I didn't choose chaos. Chaos chose me. Meg! Habacha! Was it everything you hoped for? The nonsense? The shame? Amos, it's okay, Bubby. What's wrong there? Oh, hang on. I gotta check on dog. Bear with me a second. Sorry about that, friends, and thank you all for waiting. Oh. Oh. This is my current life. It is entirely ruled by puppies. And it can be very frustrating at times, let me tell you. I don't remember what it's like to have free time. It feels like a mystical concept. A strange and alien idea, once engaged upon but now lost. I actually need to go here, didn't I? Anyway, how are you all doing? What's ho, friends? Hello, hello. Hoping nothing games industry-wise has set on fire in the brief few moments that I've been gone. Cheers all. Wait. Aiden, I feel like this is a bit. Amos. Don't be a terror. Hookshot says, wouldn't it be? Has the fire gotten worse in the last few moments? I assume it's going to. I've got the camera high, but this is in dab mode. Both. Did we just explode the car? Did they just tase the driver? God, that's loud. Oh, okay, but it's distracted the drone so we can sneak past the door. Rather than, I guess, take a taxi cab home? Okay, okay. See, Hookshot, you're now at the point where I actually want to just quickly check the hot sheets to make sure things haven't exploded entirely. I will say, and this is, I guess, no big deal to anyone, all of my old team are being reformed under the guy who used to run Sega Digital over at Curve Games. So, like, Craig, Joey, and Dogbert are all over at Curve Games right now. And John Clark, who's their new CEO, was the person responsible basically for saving Sega's ass by, like, pivoting to digital distribution. Baron Watto, hello. The link that I sent you is my favourite Gundam supplier doing the one of my favourite builds that's really good for painting. That was what I was telling you about, the Barbatus that has the inner structural skeleton, and then you kind of bolt the armour on. So with the internal skeleton, you can paint the additional details. You know, just a bit of silver and chrome here and there. You don't have to do a full repaint of the skeleton, but you can paint the white outer armor pieces really easily, and they feckin' pop. It's great. Just keep looking over, making sure Amos isn't causing all of the troubles. So yeah, that was the thing that I sent to you. It's not the mech that I recommended for you, but it is one of the best for, like, airbrushing and painting. Oh! Wait. Feckin' wet! So just teleport between... Ah. Oh, that's creepy as all hell. And everything's floating while we're being judged from up on high. Oh, good. Oh, good. They are legit watching. Oh, and Volchi, Watto friend. Hello, hello. This game seems to mostly be using follow the light, but not to its full extent. Interesting, interesting. And we can't look out the window at whatever chaos and carnage lays waste. I guess we just had to come here and get the paper aeroplane again? Oh, way cool. Well, Aiden, I do hope you get your internet shenanigans sorted. This is very odd. I guess this whole game is exceedingly odd. Alright, so we picked up a paper plane. Now, what does that allow us to do here? Upjar? Upjar. And we can't get out of here. Interesting. Locking us to some kind of glitchy hell. Brilliant. Coises. Where? Where? Indicano, Watto friend. Apparently this is just full on, like, Matrix logic. Alright. Can we talk about the new Matrix film yet? Because I feckin' loved it. And I don't know, has it been long enough that we can discuss it? I'm okay if people still want to avoid spoilers and don't want to talk about it, which is entirely fine. But I highly recommend watching it, especially if you have ever worked in video games. Okay, well, Sadlin hasn't seen it, Aiden hasn't seen it. Hey, that's okay. Just give it a watch. And sorry, Greenfire, Watto. This is called The Plane Effect. It's a very arty, kind of simple puzzle game that seems to be about us trying to get home. As things get increasingly more and more odd, weird. Oh, sorry, Navalis. I was talking about the... I made a snowman. What just happened? Oh, the bird steals our scarf and we're meant to just chase after it. Alright, I wasn't supposed to faff about. So, Greenfire, I think it's fine to be nervous about cinema going. We saw it via entirely legal means of, I believe, HBO Max. Totally focused, sensible, legal means. And I do recommend giving it a watch. If anything, because a large proportion of the cast of Sense8 are in it, which makes me really happy. bird, you almost led me to icy death. Hey bird, give me my scarf, otherwise I'm gonna die in the snow. Alright, there we go. Now where the bloody hell do we go? Oh, hello, ghost. Hello, snow ghost. I guess. Oh, fuck no. Oh, do not like. The fuck? Oh, why? Oh, and Draconic Dude, as an aside, I am a sushi fiend. Love it. Students Drakes took us to a train sushi place where you order food and a tiny train zips by to the side of your table, and then you take your food off and it zips back. It's fucking great. And they did do a mackerel sashimi that I am obsessed with. Sorry, as an aside. And Ultrazini, I couldn't move during that. I can move now. So apparently we got lost in the snow and have now been consumed by some kind of gigantic murder eel. God darn it, murder eel. Can we get back through the teeth? No? Alright. Murder eel is going to need a real name. I can't just call it murder eel forever. And what is this? Oh. Some kind of lymph node thing? God. Oh, misnomers. Yes, the train sushi place is in Seattle. And the food's so good. But I'm not. I definitely wouldn't describe myself as a sushi snob either. Because one of my little lockdown treats has been going to Freddy's and just getting a. That's the anus. That's the anus. Oh, this is it's just gross all the way down here. I kind of don't want to be talking about food with these lumpy bumplies. Sorry, one of my lockdown treats has been basically just hoarding a bunch of the grocery store sushi from Freddy's and just having like just eating just standard goodies until full. And you know what? It's nice. Well, actually, sorry, if you live in a part of the world that you don't have access to like a good sushi restaurant, you could do a lot of the stuff around making sushi is just very careful. You can do it yourself real well. It's just finding either good guides or good recipes. Now, admittedly, I did a terrible job of it, but I got the chance to try like making my own sushi rolls. When Baron hosted like a little sushi night like 1,000 years ago, and it was really tasty. And the trick was just getting the rice right. Like the The seaweed for rolls, or just like a little bit of wasabi to put it all together, was real easy to do. But the trick was getting the rice right. With the fish, getting the cuts right as well. But it's the thing of like, especially in like the UK and the US, it's not too hard to get hold of good fish. So it's just... That's another butthole. That's another butthole. Oh, Draconic Dude, the answer, both. Cooking sushi rice is a... There's a bunch of tricks to it that I have not yet mastered. But it is something that you can acquire. You've got to get the right kind of rice. Or, like, you know what? I had this lazy snack that I used to do for myself, which was basically just, I'd get like a big piece of salmon, and I'd do like sashimi-style cuts of it, and then I'd soak it in like I'd soak it in lime juice to kind of give it that ceviche kind of like acidic cook, like around the outside. And do you know what I do? I just sit with a box of that and a big old hunk of like tiger bread or something, and just go to town. It's delicious. Okay, we need something to poke the gross lymph node with because of reasons? Fred, so answer yes, but I cannot remember the place that we had it at. And if it's still open, because a few of the places down in the International District sadly did close down. Like the hot pot place we used to go to. Thankfully there are other hot pot places, so we're not hurting for that, but... I have had good Korean-style fried chicken. Did I tell you the place I used... Oh, that seems bad. Yep, that's death. The skeleton tells me so. When I was drinking in New Zealand, there was a particular karaoke place that we used to go to because it was like a last chance saloon. Like, it was always open late. What was really cool about it was, despite it being a last chance style saloon, despite it being a place where... Oh, I just had to tap it twice. Cool. Despite being a gaff where it wasn't even a good karaoke place, it was all like MIDI music covers of popular karaoke songs. But despite all that, the food was incredible. Barry was asking, is bok bok Korean style? I don't rightly know. There we go. So we need a car battery from one car to put in another car inside of a giant eel. You can see what I mean, friends, about the moon logic. But there's enough visual clues that it's not impossible. Oh, and the lighting tendrils are affected by light. And typical skeleton stuff, am I right? Why wouldn't we take a hammer? Okay. Oh, okay. Sorry, Salin, I missed your previous thing. So, bok bok is Korean-style fried chicken. Okay. Oh, and sorry, yeah, the Korean-style hot pot is lovely. But it's definitely, Korean hot pot, at least for myself, always feels like an event. Like, it's something you plan for with a lot of friends, you know. Get a big pot, get the soup broth going, and then just add whatever everybody's into. Oh, so good. For a long time, it was kind of part of our post-PAX recovery ritual, where, like, the day after, we'd all meet at, well, we'd sleep in, meet at a hot pot place, and just eat soup and meat until full. So Miss Nomus was saying, considering the amount of amazing Korean food places in Federal Way and Kent, I'm sure there are options in Seattle. Yes. It's not... I wish I knew more places, but it's just a great excuse to eat wonderful. Oh, Salin says that Postpax is dim sum. Amateurs. Now, obviously, taking the hammer out of that skeleton's hands returned the lightning tendrils back into the water, as is well known with eel physiology. I joke, I joke. See, Fred, you're too studious. Okay, studious isn't the right term. We got to steal you either a little bit more before, or a little bit more after, whenever the next like squad safe PAX is. Yes, you did have to go back to work, actually doing your job. God. See, and that's the thing about being in such strange times, is you never know when you're recommending people to go to an event which is or is not safe. You know, PAX West was safe, and it was good. There was a lovely personableness to it. It was different, certainly. Okay, so we need another thing. It wasn't like the late night crowds and stuff were much different than they were back in previous intervals. Alright, so we can't turn that off, so what do we need? Yeah, Fred, it is such a weird era of life right now. It's going to make for some cracking stories once things are back to a, well, I wouldn't say normality, but a certain level of more safe sociability. God. And I don't mean to just constantly make everybody hungry every time we have one of these streams. I will say, for all the nightmarish things about moving to the Americas, the access to delicious foods is like the best part of it. Oh, peoples. Okay, so I think we've got to turn all the lights white to light up the area. So John Bacon wants some grocery store sushi now. Fucking right. But then again, I'm not hurt for tasty food. As Fiona did chicken taco soup last night, and it's so good. Does need avocado, but it's not bad without. Alright. Obviously, 4 white lights is also another thing about eel biology that they do not like, therefore providing us with safe passage as we continue on through whatever in the ruddy hell we're doing. God, Fred hasn't had a burger in like a year and a half, 2.5 years, maybe 3. Fucking yo, you haven't had the option to stuff your face with dicks. Like that feels like a human rights violation. The fact that the choice to stuff your gob full of dicks has been removed from you. Sorry, I almost kept a straight face. I almost did it. Oh no! And the Dick's Boy looks close for renovations. Oh, the one up in Cap Hill. No. Fred, you're right. It isn't the same. Dicks should be partaken in a large group. Friends, this is why you go to Dick's Hamburgers when you come to Seattle. The burgers, I like them. But they're not change your life good. But they're really tasty. And they're very cheap. But what you're buying isn't just a hamburger. you're buying the license to make knob gags for the rest of time. It's a gift that keeps on giving. Yeah, Indie Kylo. It's not a night out unless you've got yourself some cheap dicks. Yeah, and Fred, you are right, they do treat their staff real well. The more I've learned about them as well. The sad thing is I haven't had the chance to wear it, but Zelki, or the artist formerly known as Panda, for my birthday got me the Dick's X Seattle Kraken shirt, the hockey jersey, which is a bunch of Kraken tentacles grasping the Dick's hamburger logo, and I'm like, they must know. They must know. So that's been hilarious for me because it's just, again, it's the gift that keeps on giving. Fred's Mrs. Molly Moons as well. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I miss the chatting and the hanging out more. Though sadly, the Molly Moons up in Capitol Hill is the one that I threatened to burn down that one time. So, not on good standing with them. They probably don't remember me anymore, but though Fred, there are a myriad of glorious places. Here's a thing that I didn't think I'd say out loud to another human being, but not too far from us, there's a vegan ice cream joint that has this whole kind of like cottagecore vibe, which is wonderful. And like instead of a garden, they have this adorable little like cottagecore greenhouse, and it's so good. I often feel a little bit guilty when I say like vegetarian places or vegan places, or you know, places that do really good gluten-free stuff is tasty, because I don't have any dietary requirements anymore. I used to be lactose intolerant as a kid, and I couldn't tell you if I grew out of it or if I just brute forced it. But these days, I don't have any, so I'm kind of getting all of the best bits. As if I didn't have enough privilege already, I also get food privilege. Huh. Sadlin saying, as a random fact, they almost got a job at Molly Moons when they first moved to Seattle because of the history of success with people who formerly worked at Jimmy John's. Huh. Moose, see, the jersey is stream safe, but it's one of those where if you just stop and think about it for a little bit, it's hilarious. Though the only problem with it is that it looks a little, it's massive on me, so it kind of looks like I'm doing the world's shitest. Yeah, you know what? Let's just use the baseball bat to wail on the car. That makes so much sense. It looks like the world's like smallest budget Jason Mewes cosplay. Yeah, Indy kind of. Look at this man with his food privilege, waving his dicks about. The industry, that's called a tentibulge. Misnomers was saying that their primary has celiac disease, so they feel that statement. They've learnt an annoying amount about gluten-free food places which have a lot of overlap with like vegetarian and vegan stuff. Yeah. Well, a good friend of ours. A good friend of ours has, I don't know whether to call it an allergy or a reaction, but there's a specific kind of red food dye, and there's a chemical in that red food dye that gives them like debilitating migraines. It just, whatever it is, just causes them to have the worst time ever. And it's one of those ones that it's surprisingly common in a lot of things. And I feckin' like that's a bad time. Okay. Moose makes a very good point. Like, there's nothing that says I can't wear my Dick's jersey on stream. Well, next week when I'm back, I'll consider it. Like, friendos, you've still got me for an hour and change. As this evening we're going to be taking Amos to his first doggy training class, where I think we're just going to have a parent-style breakdown at these trainers being like, he is destroying our lives, but we can't get rid of him because we love him. Help us. Tomorrow, I am taking a mandated day off. And Saturday, I'm not here. Perun is going to be streaming for the whole day. Yeah, and Lyris threw in a bunch of cash for that one. And so, yeah, it's going to be Perun's stream to enjoy. He's going to be playing... Well, okay, he says he wants to play Jump King, but I think that's because it's only got a couple of buttons and his little paws can be like, oh, I'm going to move over here. I'm going to come over here. Okay, push the button and a jump. Oh no, I have fallen down. I'm going to have some more salad to console myself. Moo says that the Perun stream is going to be an interesting background to Global Game Jam. It should help offset. So, Barrison that Shrie's allergic to pork. And with... Oh. No, lost my thought there. It's gone. I guess it's one of those things where I'm not self-flagellating, but I do try and remain as aware as I can for like a lot of the privileges that I have, and especially when it comes to like not having any overarching medical problems and not having any like food allergies. Like I'm real lucky in that regard. Oh, that's fascinating. Oh, wait, sorry. I shouldn't say fascinating, Lost Flowers. I don't mean to turn that into a study case. Flowers was saying that they have texture sensitivities that absolutely fuck up their existence involving food. That's very fascinating. A friend of ours doesn't have much of a sense of taste or a sense of smell, so their food experience is primarily based around textures. But it creates some weird, like, some weird quirks. Like, they absolutely do not like gin, because gin is tree, and tree is bad. Like, you don't eat pine trees. Why would you drink pine trees? And I'm just like, fucking yo. It's just... Yeah. Like, that's gotta be such a feckin' challenge, and... Alright, cool, we fly now! Hey, check it out! It's the ending to Nier Automata! I can ever so slightly steer him, but I don't know if it's actually doing anything, or... Oh, so one of you was asking, like, what's actually going on with this game. We went to work happy, having spent the morning with our family, and we have finished work and we are trying to get home. But things keep getting weirder. You know, like this, where we're literally flying through an unending void. You doing alright, River? Do you ever just... Points to screen. How much control I have. Plus those squares keep reminding me of the magic circle, so... Big pixels. Are we winning? Are we losing? Oh, God! Skeet up, but ho! I have not seen your ring, but since you're asking me, you better check out that butthole. Yeah, just gonna fly into that great big anus in the void. No! Somehow it's worse. Somehow this is worse. Oh look, we found the spirit of jazz. But yeah, so Lost Flowers going on to say that for themselves, anything abnormal from what they typically eat does make them feel ill for like 2 to 3 hours afterwards. Not fun, options limited. That's understandable. And the problem is like, it's not something that's easily combated. Because I learned a lot about this from when VR games started getting tested by some friend of mine who are working in QA. Because it's basically like, once you prop that bit in your brain responsible for like nausea and stuff like that, once you prop that, it takes hours before you can oh, we're just gonna play some jazz, okay. Sorry, so if you get motion sick from VR, it is a long recovery before you can go back in there, because your body is already in a state of, oh shit, I'm being poisoned. And if you get that experience from food, again, you have to wait for a long time before your body's like, all right, you can eat again, it's allowed. And what I wouldn't speak for you in that case. It feels like anything that's like a food sensitivity to textures might be similar. So it's not something you can kind of brute force. Like, if you get headaches from playing video games, you should probably stop. I used to get them as a kid, but what I did is I just powered through them. That's not healthy. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. I probably shouldn't have been allowed to do that, but yeah, that was where I was at. It's also nice to see the pustules from Half-Life Opposing Force getting work. Huh. So apparently that's a form of dump shock, which is a thing that Shadowrun coined, but turns out is real. Fascinating. Fascinating. Again, not making light of it for people that suffer it. Is that a sword or like... Okay. I feel like I've lost track of where we are in this strange universe!
To deal with that aversion for years. Except it was from vodka and not VR or food Viking 64 boost.
Now, Bacon, see, that's your body trying to spare you. And Bacon, thank you for the 200. Okay, here's a weird one. And I should probably stop drinking shots because of this. But that seems like a quitter talk. Basically, my body will auto-reject a drink if I try and... Feck you, mate. My body will auto-reject a drink if I drink it like a shot. Oh, it's because I'm pushing the wrong button. So, like, if I pour alcohol into a shot glass and do as a shot, my body goes, oh no, you fucking didn't, and will try and auto-reject. Because of the amount of times I've done myself a damage using just such a technique. Oh, feck you. It usually involves either having to have a chaser, or just informing my body who's in charge, which we frequently argue about. Huh. Okay, yeah. So the dumb shock, getting ripped out of Oh, sorry, I just blew this person's face off. Getting ripped out of VR too fast, or in some instances, leaving VR can hyper-confuse your brain, thus leaving you in a state of, I guess, of nausea. Oh, no, and we're going to be playing our next instrument! Because apparently that's how we defeat the insides of this eel? Question? No, you know what? I feel I'm... Fuck you, game. I feel I'm doing this game a little bit of a disservice because, like, our conversations today have been really good. But I don't think I've been engaging with this game thematically. Like, I kind of feel like this is almost one of those... You should get really stoned and just play this. Just give your brain the chance to disengage from the action and engage directly with just... with this bizarrely intricate thematic. Fred would like to point out that he is in fact faster than Dump Shock. Yeah. Fred can get vertigo even before you've gotten into VR. Yeah, I mean, have we talked about, like, the challenges of things like vertigo and stuff in gaming? Because we talked a lot about accessibility, but that tends to be about individuals with, you know, physical challenges that affect how they interact with the game rather than, like, the effect of certain genres. Zach's asking why G-Man is running into Gordon Freeman's heart and stomach. Oh, you missed the anus. And the answer is, we don't wholly know. This is called the plane effect. And it is curious, to say the very least. Like, I'm still not entirely sure I understand any of this, but we're here. We're here. Okay. A bunch of notes and some Fibonacci. Is it the Fibonacci square? It's the golden ratio, right? Also, I was very disappointed that oh, what was it? Was it Galaxy Noir? No. The one that was the murder mystery at the beginning of the galaxy. That game didn't seem to end up on too many people's Game of the Year lists. It wasn't Galaxy Noir, it was something else. Shite. Okay, JP, I hope your Hades runs were successful, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your night. Oh, Favor6 is just adding that 3D movies give him a headache when touching VR. Yeah, not a fan. One, two, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excuse me. Oh, okay, so I think it's... No, it's just gross and weird. Oh, is this the path through? So it's 1, 2... Nope! Don't be weird. These circles made it weird. Oh, the Fibonacci sequence, typically. Thank you. God, I always get that all befuddled up. So, Will, what do you do for a living? Oh, I make G-Man climb through a bunch of seemingly random anuses, so I might solve a puzzle as to return to my digital family. One, 1, 2, 3, 5. All right. That's Fibonacci. Will return after these messages. All right. So that was 2. Now we need 3, then 5. If this works. Sorry for not included. Sorry, jumping back in. Barrison, I know a ton of people that FPS games give them motion sickness, VR or not. Yeah, there tend to be a few. Like, I'd definitely say that the original Prey and good old Portal, first time running through those gave me motion sickness. God, the worst motion sickness I had was actually Sonic Adventure, which I know is surreal, but I was borrowing someone's Dreamcast and I only had it for like a day. So I played Sonic Adventure for 20 hours without stopping and I vomited so much. But again, I just kept pushing through it, which is not what you should do. Because you should teach your body that, nah, it's fine. It's fine, body, you're fine. I did not do that. I just kept going until I chundered. Navalis was adding that they introduced their sister Portal, but she couldn't continue off the first level because of motion sickness. Understandable. And Zach's like, there's your problem, I found it right there. You played Sonic. Well, you're motion sick. Okay, Sonic Adventure 1 was mostly a great game. 40% a great game. Oh, and for the record, it's always hard to choose between the which is the worst part of that game. I still remember being blown away by the scope and the scale of Sonic Adventure. That it was an open world with levels and multiple characters, like, all at once. Not good. I just got tentacled to death. Interesting. So Jax is saying that they felt motion sick playing Portal on their laptop, but not on the TV. Interesting. It could be the way it's grounded. Like, how you're focusing on those kind of things would be interesting. Wow. Zach says, yeah, 60% a bad game is like adding 60% expired sour cream to the new sour cream that you just bought. Either way, you're having a bad time. Either way, it's all coming up. No. I don't seem to be able to retrieve the horns. Cool, I've just jammed every single instrument into one bunghole. Video games! The Pop Pop Toot Orchestra is proud to present every fucking instrument all at once. This is going to be a challenging puzzle. Okay, it would not sound like that. Okay, Great Tentacle of Cthulhu, how did we do? The tentacle is not impressed. Huh. Sorry, just Jax was adding on the Portal motion sickness that they played it on the TV. It was like a 2013 and a cheap TV might have been an additional factor. Now, did you play it on the laptop first, or is that a thing you've gone back to try? So many coffee cups around me. So if I remember rightly, it was Doodle Toot Horn first. Alright. Then it was this thing. Then it was Super Horn. Lol. No, I effected up. Okay, so the order is trumpet, oboe, flute, superhorn. And I can't rearrange them after they're in, so I've got to kind of like brute force it, get diddled by a tentacle, then try again. You know, standard FPS action gameplay right here. Why play Call of Duty when you can get messed up by a tentacle because you made 4 bumholes play song wrong? Video games! Oh, okay, so he actually shows us the order. So, tiny horn, long flute, short flute, just misnomer saying me, hey, some people pay good money for that kind of action. Alright. Little horn, big flute, small flute, big horn. Simple. And also, I don't think this game is being obtuse as well. I know I've accused it of being, like, intentional moon logic, but it has been using a lot of systems to inform me of what these symbols mean and what instrument equates to which one. I've been paying a lot of attention to what you lot have been saying, so that's on me. Zach was thinking every time I say tiny horn, just a small air horn. Truly the greatest of our orchestral pieces is this, Zach. He's first chair air horn, don't you know? Oh, everyone's a fucking critic. So as we're getting smacked to death, we get eaten. Great. What the fuck? Excuse me? We just chucked into, like, Tim Burton's lower intestine. What is even going on here? So Doriquil says that heard that some motion sickness is due to the field of view of the game not matching the distance to size on screens. That could be what's happening to the laptop. Quite possibly. I mean, it's Valve, so there's probably like FOV sliders and things that you can work with. No likey. No thank you. Oh, we gotta hit it when it's roaring. That's how you open it up. Video games. Ark of the Conclave. Question... Answer hazy. Ask again later. A tentacle was involved. And now it's kind of like we just climbed up all up inside Beetlejuice. Which seems like a thing that he would do. Da 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 da. We're gonna skate our briefcase of nonsense all the way to victory. Thank you, tentacles. If any of you hear the Sonic 2 bonus level music playing in your head, you are entirely correct. Da, 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 da. And now we reach the small intestine, which has eaten our coat. Okay. Oh, that last level was called Wormhole. Oh, that's not good. We got 2 achievements. One was Expert Surfer, and the other was just Welcome Home. Krypton's like, yo, I've been AFK since the start of this game, and what in the hot feck did I just return to? In the words of every character from Emmerdale, I don't rightly know. Yeah, so John Bacon, just a regular day's commute. Though the bloody footprints are kind of worrying, you know. But also within whatever this is. This is all very sinister. Oh no! Oh, don't you dare make me feel things, video game. I've got 40 minutes left before I have to tap out. Don't you do this. So how do we fix that? Oh, it was a fridge magnet. Because there's a magnet on the fridge. With counter effect. Okay, this is super weird. This area is simultaneously like a fashionable modern home and some kind of weird research lab. Oh, cool. It's just a big old. Did that help? Did that make it worse? And the kid is out. So John Bacon says they might actually go and get some sushi because they can't stop thinking about it. Oh. It's going to be a while before we do a sushi feast, but I'm looking forward to it when it happens, you know. But, again, we are so spoiled for food. Oh, so much good food in the house. Like, I get taco soup later. Well, more like a taco super tasty. I don't know how to describe it. It's real good. It's real feckin' good. And the blood seems very determined on telling us where we need to go. But yeah, I'm starting to worry about what this game might actually be trying to say. Not that I think it's going to be bad, but I think there's going to be some weighty feels behind this. Still can't get past that. Alright. Yeah, no, sorry. The thing from earlier did seem like. Oh, there we go. Get the black light going. What do you mean? You just picked it up. We just got it. Mate, why are you doing this to me? Have a sip of coffee and talk to your lovely selves for a couple of seconds more. I will say, like, as an aside. One of the lovely things about being in this current kind of like golden age of gaming is that if you do have things like motion sickness and stuff like that, that doesn't mean feck you, you're out. You know, it's not like, can't play first-person shooters. Well, kindly, fuck off. There's so much that you can play right now. A few people will ask me ooh, none of those were words that came out of my face. I might need some more water. A few people have been asking me about Hidden Deep, because we did the stream a bit earlier in the week, and I had a really good time with it. And I'm like, nah, this is a great co-op game to play with friendos. Also, film cameras? This is very strange. Oh, I'm so sorry. These yawns keep catching up with me. I must be missing something here. Let's head back to the kitchen. I'll have a sip more coffee and talk to you lot. Amos has us both on ridiculous sleep patterns at the moment. So, if we look a little teary-eyed, if we look a little weary behind the eyes, that's why. See, Final Phoenix, it didn't give me the option to acquire. Oh yeah, no. Final Phoenix, I must have just missed the prompt. So we used the tape to fix the wire, then use the ultraviolet bulb on the ultraviolet lampshade on the bulb here. Oh, lordy, lordy. Oh, just, I guess to LeJack's misnomers or anyone who's joined us recently, another thing worth noting is over on Discord, we have a thing called the Great Hall. The Great Hall is basically, it's not like an essential reading list, but it's a list of games that either we play regularly or that are very iconically us. So like, Hollow Knight, for example, is on there, but also like Sniper Elite 3, which, actually, if we Alt-Tab, if you'll forgive the break in audio, just to give my little brain a chance to process for a second. We can compare the prices on. Because Sniper Elite 3 is one we play a lot. I don't know if I can necessarily recommend it as a game for you all, but you can just kill Nazis. You don't have to play it multiplayer to get good. You can just take a very long sniper rifle and kill Nazis. I know I've talked this story up a few times, but it's in my brain. I am still so proud of killing 2 Nazis with 1 bullet by shooting one sideways on, so the hip bone fractured like a shotgun blast, shredding not only their genitals, but the genitals of the person next to them. I will never be able to replicate that shot again in a million years. But it is a gift that keeps on giving, you know? It's just, sometimes you just gotta kill a Nazi with another Nazi. Yeah, as Krypton says, remember kids, killing Nazis is always okay. And fun. Speaking of which, I'm pretty sure Wolfenstein: The New Order will be on sale as well. But yeah, Sniper Elite is 80% off on Steam. And I haven't checked to see what the Humble price is well. Humble is not on sale, so it's only on sale on Steam. But also, so like I need to add a few more to it. I also need to think of any other titles to add. So, Unfortunate Spaceman is on there. The Hex, Soma, One Shot, Whoopo. Oh, feckin' hell. A game that looks like a kid's game that will end up being something that will stay with you for the rest of your life. Whoopo. It is cute. It is thought out. It is deep as the Mariana Trench and brilliant. It's controlled like twin stick style. Yeah. God. I still don't know what I'm going to get as a Whoopo tattoo because we'll have to do it eventually. But like, I guess just like a little squad of woms. But yeah, so if you're ever wondering like titles to acquire, that is definitely like a good little shopping list. We do need to add some more games to there, and I'm trying to think of games that are iconically us. So I feel like we should add the Outer Wilds even though everyone knows about the Outer Wilds, it's a huge part of us. But, like, what else, you know? Like, we don't need to tell people to play Inscription. They already know Inscription is brilliant. But, like, I guess Control? It feels gauche to put a AAA game in our hall of. But Control was so good. And I know we talked about this a bunch of times, but when we turned off damage for it, it was so good. Use the tape. Or do we need to use the... Tape on the pipe? Where? Yeah, Lost Flowers, like, Outer Wilds, maybe Control. But again, Control's a weird one because it is very AAA. And it is not something that needs our support. But I guess it is iconically us, which is the question, you know? I do need to put the Void Reigns upon our heart because, I mean, I spend so much time... Oh, I guess we are going to do some stuff on there. I don't know. I thought the tape was going to be used to repair the... Oh! Aha! What do you mean you can't get through? It's a bloody curtain! Oh, Navalis, demeanor, of course. All right, let me. Oh, my pens have been hijacked. I'm about to say I should start making a list of. Oh no, wait, I have pens to hand. Bear with me a second. I have to quickly move the Gundam stand that I've been using as a makeshift phone stream holder. I've got a sack of pens right here. Oh, it's right good. Sorry for the ASMR stationery. Yeah, see? Ziploc bag, keeping stationery together. I'm not a complete dingleberry. Just with dingus-like tendencies. There we go. Lost Flowers, you're right, I haven't checked the papers on the side there. I should do that. Right. But I want to write down some of these games that need to be added to the Great Hall. Demeanor's going to be a tricky one to get a tattoo of. Just because, you know, a large proportion of Roman iconography has been co-opted by less than reputable jerks. So, and here we've got, right. Great Hall. So that was Outer Wilds for sure. Did anyone else have any feelings on whether or not Control should be one of our games at the Great Hall? Lost Flowers says, I feel like the Pony Island, the Hex, and Inscription should all be there. See, the Hex has been in there for a long time because the Hex very much got overlooked. Oh shit, Navalis, Heaven's Vault. Oh shite. For those of you that want a recommendation for a non-combat, or should I say non-conflict game, I cannot recommend Heaven's Vault enough. Yeah, that definitely needs to be there because we had an incredible time with that. And it's the feeling of playing Heaven's Vault together with all of you lot, like us all cracking this alien language together, is an experience that I've been trying to find anything that even comes close to it, you know? Alright, Jax, have a lovely rest of your evening. I hope rehearsals... the club sing around. I hope rehearsals go very well, and you have a lovely evening. Nothing on the papers there. So we picked up the tape and... The pots and pans don't seem to do anything. I'll just keep electrocuting this guy until he learns. Though it is fascinating this whole thing is set up like a stage. Well, you know what, Lost Flowers? You know what? That's recommendation enough. But sometimes, from my perspective, it's hard to know what is iconically ours. Do you know what I mean? Like the games that we've resonated with. Because, like, let's take Wolfstride for example. Like, I fucking love that game, and I will be recommending it wholeheartedly. But it's not really an us game, you know. It wasn't one that we really resonated with beyond like a session of being like, hey, this is cool. I'll check this out later. Do you know what I mean? Check it out. The line goes up. Yeah, how about these papers here? I will not. I cannot tell a lie, dear friends. I do not know what it wants of us. Exo asking, wait, is Elden Ring out? Yes, Elden Ring is out as of right now. Mr. FromSoft sent me a quiet message and was just like, hey, well, don't tell anyone. You will have to wait till next month, but I would prepare yourself for a potential, not disappointment, but for a potential delay. For those of you that don't know, they managed to okay, guess that's not where we're going. There has been some issues found in FromSoft's server code, which does allow for some bad times. They've currently disabled. Maybe I've just got to walk through the fire. No. Me. Bastard. So yeah, there is a distinct possibility that we might see a delay to Elden Ring just to make sure that their server structure is like up for snuff. God darn it. So what am I missing here? Anyway, Exo, I hope you're having a lovely evening. Hello, hello. Gotta be something I'm missing. Oh, here we go.
Stop that incessant clicking.
It's wood! Jackie, thank you for that. Alright, so the thing we turned on, the guide hints, that basically gives us a line to where we need to go for the next part of, which, considering the way this game is telling its story, I really do appreciate. Yeah, now it's turned off, we can fix it. Put in that ultraviolet bulb and go sit the heck back down again and see what See what this ultraviolet bulb reveals. If it's anything like a hotel room, it'll look like a Jackson Pollock. Sit your gangly ass down. Wellity, wellity, wellity. Cool. A brick wall, I guess. Oh, now we can turn off the steam to go get the pickaxe. Of course. What the fuck? Okay. Actually, there is one thing that I want to compliment this game for that I don't know if anyone else has really mentioned. I guess because I've been kind of absorbed by it. Is that this has that... This has a... A lot of times people will evoke Twin Peaks for a bunch of different reasons. Usually for small town meets surreal, for TV shows that seem to be grounded and then you find out they're way out there. For this, what makes me think of the Twin Peaks kind of situation is that the logic of this scenario seems to make sense to a character. Like, for us... Why did it explode? Maybe they're just talking about Link's Awakening. We don't know what's going on, but our character seems unfazed by the strangeties thrown at him. Almost kind of creating this disconnect between us and him. Like, look at this. This army of weird, freaky-ass mannequins. He doesn't seem fussed in the slightest. Like, this is damn near a feckin'... just a regular afternoon stroll back, giving it kind of like a weird dream logic. Do you know what I mean? Please don't come alive and grab me. Please don't come alive and grab me. Why would you want me to go to the center? That is bad. Oh, because this one's facing the other way. Oh, cool. There's no way that ends up biting us in the ass. Eh. Dominoes! A feckin' wee! Oh god! Right, here we go. Let's get these dominoes flowing. Woohoo! Machine performance be damned! Okay, there's the bloody pickaxe. Oh yeah, misnomer. Thank you for reminding me, because when I was nattering about the Great Hall, I meant to say, yeah, Whoopo is currently 90% off, and it's one of those games where I just trust me. It's not a psychological horror. It's not going to jump out and go ooga booga booga at you. It's just brilliant. Ah yes, introducing the pocket pickaxe. When you positively need to find your feckin' skeleton, mate. When you need to find skeleton man, skeleton man. Actually, Exo makes a very, very good point that the Rusty Lake series does it very well. Like, the normality of the surreal. That you're in this strange world, but everyone around you is also kind of like part and parcel. Something tells me we might have to sort the fucking... We might have to sort the pool. This seems fine. Oh, good work, Dingus. Alright. Let's go fishing! What do you mean, Look! Why? Why did you do that? J-Clips, you're right. It might be too much chlorine. Just a smidge too much. When people are maintaining their pools, I tend to advise them to stop just before it starts glowing. What do you mean you don't need it? Sorry, where are my feckin' manners? So, Jackie, thank you for gifting us up to wood. Just the concept of wood. And then to the grind. Now, I don't know if the wood and the grind are related, because you could pair those two together for a myriad of different purposes, some of which are very practical, some of others which are not. But no, seriously, thank you for both there. And yeah, Fred, apparently our character is part Kryptonian. Gets wrecked by the green stuff. It gets weirdly fighty on the red stuff. Why are you jumping in? You're the one that tells me to push the button. Oh, we're going to go back inside again. Alright. Cool. And Jackie, you are. Congratulations, you are now head of the House Carl Hunter boards. Oh, we're allowed to take the magnet now. Okay, so now I'm allowed the fishing rod because I have the magnet. Alright. Now let's go fishing and not throw ourselves off into the abyss. You great big sharphead. Okie dokie. I think this is gonna be one of those games, friends, where either I might try and finish it in downtime if I get the time, or at very least, like I would recommend, if you have the cash and the capacity, having a go at this, because I am definitely intrigued. But despite hoofing a great many coffees and getting into a great amount of trouble, I might have to tap out sooner than later, dear friends. Exo's still getting over the corn game. Oh god, Maze. Is Maze... Maze is one of those games I just want to recommend to people completely... like, completely blind where possible. Oh, Jake Rips, I'm not going that fast. You have me for a wee while longer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Interesting. Oh, okay. Oh, Sailor would like to point out that Maze is also currently $4. Yeah, you know what? I think Maze has got to go in the Great Hall. Because that did end up being so much better than I was expecting. Because what's been really interesting is a friend of ours has been getting into gaming proper recently. And, you know, it's just one of those things where, you know, because of, you know, commitments in their life and, you know, the strange turns that things take, like, they haven't had the time, the access, or the, I guess, the group to really get into games proper. And so it's been really interesting kind of like recommending them titles and going through a few selections and whatnot with them, because it's wonderful showing people how much more games can be than they currently are. You know what I mean? Now, is it small to large? So is it 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 5, 3. So yeah, 1, 2, 4, 5, 3. Let's give that a shot. As I'm trying to work out if it's the circle sizes that denote the... Nah. Perhaps the other way around then. So then that would be 3, 5, 3, 5, 4, 2, 1. 3, 5, 4, 2, 1. Haha! Making me feel like I'm cool and smart. It's this game. So we've gotten into this rhythm of this surrealist kind of puzzle solving. It's not even moon logic anymore. It's just how it is. It's not moon logic because we now understand it. Whoops, all moon. And what did we get from there? Oh, it's a door handle. Can't open a door without a door handle. The dream logic in this. Not, sorry, I don't mean moon logic like the puzzles. When I say dream logic, I mean like the logic of how this progresses is just fascinating. It really does have that dreamlike quality of... Wait! We're back at the office. It's full of trees and umbrellas. And I'm very confused. Yeah, you know what, Earl? That's a good way of putting it. The moon logic does require that the world be adherent to some real-world logical sense, so that when the puzzles end up being completely wonkers... wonkers? God, completely batshit loopy bananas, that it's such a break from what you should understand. You can't have moon logic if everything is in a weird surrealist scape. Or maybe you can. I mean, Peter Gabriel put together a bunch of FMV games that made no feckin' sense and was just moon logic, so I guess it's possible to moon logic it up even when you're already being surreal. But I tell you what, friends, I think this is a good place to bring the game to a close. I don't know how much more of this title there is, but I feel like if any of you want to continue this, take your time with it, really experience it, I do recommend it. I will say it's probably not a great game to play with an audience because it's almost comically surreal at first, and you've got to give it some breathing room. You know what I mean? And now we're at the point we've been returned back to the office, and the office is a forest full of umbrellas and apparently a shelf of cars above us. Like, I do not know where this is going, but I'm frankly fascinated. You know what I mean? This has been a really nice day, and I know it's been... Yeah. I know the new times have been weird, and I know things have been a little bit more odd and a little bit more strange, but I really appreciate you all sticking with me while we're going through this serious growing pains of a time. Like, again, we've got training with Amos this evening. It's a thing we're going to be doing, hopefully, from now on, assuming, touch wood, this place is good and it helps. And once the littlest monster is... Once the littlest monster has some training under his belt, then we can start having more... You won't have to be watched 24/7, you know? Or at least be within, like, an Amos no distance. So that should help. I'm hoping to get back to starting, you know, around about noon Pacific, because there's a bunch of lovely friendos we have who are based out of Europe and places like that who I just don't get to see anymore. And I'm like, no, I miss you. Oh, and Harmonious, what? Oh, sorry to bring it to a close as you're coming in. Yeah, also, I'm really hoping to get all this set up soon. But I'm on a mandated day off tomorrow. And then Saturday is Perun's day. As has been promised in time immemorial, tomorrow, Perun gets to take over the whole channel. It's his story then. It's going to be a little adventure, and he's going to have a very good time. Going to put some little biscuits in, it's going to be great. Well, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. No, well, I mean tomorrow's a day off. Also, I didn't realise until way later in the game, we could actually just ever so slightly tweak the camera angle with the other stick. I think we were supposed to use that in the other office section to find stuff. Okay, so I'm going to roll credits. I'm going to find someone lovely to pass you on over to. I'm going to come out of this because it's not an easy game to move. Wait! It's not an easy game to tab between. Mario! There we go. And Miss Numbers, I shall enjoy my court-mandated relaxation period. Management has decreed that it's a day off. Once again, though, if that's a game that you want to check out yourselves, here's the Plane Effect, which is currently 30% off. And by the looks of things on the Steam store page, there's so much that we still haven't seen yet. So I don't feel too bad recommending it, you know what I mean? But that's enough of my nattering. Oh yeah, and we are absolutely spoiled for friendos to go hang out with after this. Okie dokie. So yeah, friends, I hope you've had a lovely day, because I've had a lovely day chatting with you all. I'm going to try and be on Discord, at least for Natters, a little bit more, but I don't get a lot of time to just sit and faff about outside of, like, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. So, I guess it's going to be great for the European friendos waking up. Right, as you can see, I am flailing off into oblivion. Like Kermit T-Frog style. Friendos, again, thank you for a great day. Specifically, I would like to thank these numpties for chucking bits and gifting subs and just being a glorious bunch of mischievous mother hubbards. Again, I know I talked about this a lot earlier, so I promise I won't keep banging on about it. I hope you all know, like, you are the ones keeping this going, and I'm so grateful for that, so thank you. Today I'd like to thank Fire Strager, Misnomers, The Stammering Gamer, Favor 6, Bacon Avenger, Androlf, Pun Spectre, Vanderbeast, Wolfcrad, the League of Spooky Ghost Anonymous Cheerers, and Shadow Mage Alpha. Like, thank you for throwing bits in. That's still like the biggest thing that helps. So feckin' thank you. Caffeine and Moose were our moderators this afternoon. And Arty By and Shadow Mage Alpha when you follow peeps that I hope we get to chat with. But the mediocre other individual gets no thanks. They get nothing from me. To Dragon Talion, Shotgun McPain, Pagan, Train Station Trash, The Game, feck you, Favor 6, I lost the game. Macho Man Randy Savage, who should always get a thank you. Old Will, Young Will, Cool Will, New Will, Who Will, Will's Not Cool, Wood and The Grind. You know what, House Carl? You've been rocking face today, so thank you. Even though those were just to get a laugh out of my dumb self. Thank you. To Captain Stephanie Barnes and Lost Flowers, thank you kindly for the host. Like, I really appreciate it. And Cryosticks, you brought a reading. Bringing in some peoples after hanging out with the witches. Ooh. Alright. Alright. I got another triple choice for you, friends. Got another triple choice. So, you can choose between Bully, Scholarship Edition, Hand of Fate, or Monster Hunter. So those are the three choices I offer to you. Bully, Scholarship Edition, Hand of Fate, Monsters. Krypton's voting for Hand of Fate. Alright. Let your feelings be known! Caffeine. Like, mentioning my hands. Is that a vote for more Hand of Fate? Caffeine says Hand of Fate is their choice as well. Alright, well, unless you'll suddenly have a huge keen... No, it's definitely Hand of Fate. Alrighty. So, friends, we're going to go hang out with our one of our regular individuals. Kisa Saitama is currently busting their way through Hand of Fate, which is a fascinating combination of, like, roguelike deck builder and a very... what's the term? What am I thinking of? Arkham Asylum-style combat system. So, if you've not seen the game before, it is fascinating. And Kisa's one of our feckin' regulars, so yo. Right, yeah. You don't have to... you don't get to see my dumbass tomorrow. However, you do get my... You do get a full-on Perun Saturday, so do with that knowledge as you will, friends. Do with that knowledge as you will. Right, I think that's about it. Have a lovely rest of your night. I will probably be really annoying on Discord tomorrow because I'll probably be missing you all. I'm going to try and do the whole recharging thing. I'm going to give it a go. I've heard it's possible. Have a lovely rest of your night, friends. Harper Stubchaw. Oh yeah, and we've got our new little kind of combat friendo for doing raids. Right. I'll see you soon, friends. I'll see you soon. Onward! I think I can just copy paste that, can't I? Yeah, I can.